Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the CIL Round 11 of Formula College. And tonight, we are once again having an Oval Wednesday. Welcome and all to our final Oval of the season in the FC calendar. I'm your host, Edward Sanchez, and tonight is going to be a special stream. I'm going to have two drivers straight from the car be able to live commentate with me. Yours truly, one and only FC director Ricky Paz in the booth here. Well, technically on the track, but before we get going green, he's going to be able to talk to us live from the race, from his cockpit, and tell us how it's feeling down there in traffic in Texas. As well as Ryan Whitlock on my left. Unfortunately, he will soon enough be here. He's got a little bit of a traffic. I think he's getting his way to the track right now. And speaking of track, let's go to the track map. So this is going to be the Fort Worth 187, length 1.5 miles, 2.41 kilometers, 4 turns, obviously, because it's an oval, fellas. Fun fact, has a building named the Lone Star Tower. Texans will know that. Pit speed, 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour, and it's first seen, well, today, season 11, 2024. Texas Motor Speedway, where everything, Texas, is always double the size. Now tonight it is going to be a great race because we are not only driving at Texas, we're driving in the night. It is a night race, 125 laps, and right now the field are qualifying, and right now it's a really great field. I believe there's right now around 28 cars that are in the session. As we see, that is Andrew Burrow going down pit road. He is currently tracking 11th, but it is going to be a fantastic night, folks, and with a really, a lot for me as a commentator, but I won't disparage much right now as Clint Holtzman, he's going to send it to pit road. He's currently tracking P2 at the moment. Oh, it looks like we have Alex Trinity, the 321 car. He's going to be rounding about out of turn 4, getting to the line, going to cut as much track as he can to the line. He's going to be P25. Oh, I'm sorry, P26. Alan Hong has gone P25. And if you guys heard that person who is a little bit tardy, that is your one and only Ryan Whitlock, the CSC director. He has gratefully lent his time and effort to be here tonight in the booth, as well as driving on the track. So we're going to have some, like I said, with Ricky Paz and Ryan Whitlock. They're both going to be drivers tonight racing, but they will be able to provide us live commentary from the cockpit. I'll ask them how it's going with those tires, how's the traffic, how's the dirty air, and it's going to be a lot to handle us tonight with 125 laps. Indy cars on an oval, you guys already know how that turns out. And as Nick Stockton crosses the line, it is a P5 for him right now. So honestly, a little bit early for me to call it, but my pick of the night. And also shout out to Sky Shrek. Unfortunately cannot be here. She has an OU emergency broadcast. So her meteorologist broadcasting skills are needed somewhere else, as she should. So all love from here to her. And so right now on board here with Ryan Whitlock, the man of the hour, who just was in the booth and now suddenly he's in the cockpit, currently tracking P18. He's going to take a nice line into turns 1 and 2. Now, folks, if you already know what Texas is like, it's a really one-lane choice, but that's in NASCAR. We're in IndyCar. You got all the downforce you need. So down into 3 and 4, And of course, an easy inside line. You see that dark marking on the grooves? That's going to be where the grip is at. I call it the grippy lane. So you got to just try to find as much as you can there. And right there, he got P5. He
I just
tracked up
tied
to 3
Nick.
and 4, and he tied Nick Stockner. Right now, it looks like Nick Stockner
Yeah.
and Ryan Whitlock. That is the first ever time that we've gotten a tied qualifying. It looks like it might go down to the 4th digit, but iRacing decides to give Ryan Whitlock the tiebreaker. Now, Ryan, welcome to the booth. I'd like to introduce everybody to our fellow drivers. So, Ryan, how are you feeling for tonight and in P5?
Well, I'm glad I was able to put together a pretty decent qualifying lap despite getting caught in some traffic, getting caught up at work. We'll see how it goes. I expect the dirty air to play a big factor tonight. You're definitely right about Texas being single groove in the Cup car, but I think that really wide turn 1 and pretty easy flat turn 3, along with dirty air, might play into how this track races tonight.
10-4, Ryan. And obviously, much good luck for me because it's going to be really hectic down into turn 1 on lap 1. And none other to also introduce Ricky Paz, your FC director. How are you feeling for tonight? You are currently tracking, I believe, P15.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun start from mid-pack. Wasn't really expecting to do anything crazy in qualifying. Kind of wish we qualified better, but hey, it's gonna be a long race. Super excited for it. As you guys know, I'm the FC director, so I've got some news for the broadcast here and some news for the folks. Our warm-up has been extended to 10 minutes. So tonight we'll have a 10-minute warm-up. It'll give us a chance to talk a little bit before the race, and then we'll get started for our hour 55 or 127, I believe, 25 laps. There we go. So yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, and with all that yapping, Ryan Whitlock has left the room, unfortunately. So, Ricky, great
Yeah,
job. We
blame
lost the
him.
driver.
Hey, look, I don't know how many of you guys were here recently, or how many streams you've been to this season, but this is two-thirds of our esteemed panel, if you will, from our CSC panel from the beginning of the season. So Ryan and I are excited to be back. We are super excited for this race. Ryan and I are huge IndyCar fans, so um, should be a total blast for two-thirds of the esteemed panel. Obviously, we miss Nick Stockner tonight. Big hearts go out to him. Yeah, super exciting stuff.
Of course, and right there we have on camera Lucas Moody, who just had a big yawn. But right now, fastest lap, Cale Davidson. So Cale, a person to really recognize, and also to highlight as many people tonight who are showing their beautiful faces. I'm not even gonna try and name names because, folks, I think a lot of folks in the audience will recognize their own sons or drivers or teammates, friends, and part of their esports organization. But Ricky, I'd like to take the time, obviously, to address the elephant in the room, which is part of the reason why we have so much great output from our drivers and a lot of support lately has been that our fellow producer, Keith, he is going to be going to better places, I would hope. And tonight will be his last broadcast for the CIL FC of this current season. Who knows? He might come back next year. I don't know. No, I'm joking. But Keith has given us our farewell, so I do want to express a warm heart. And of course, I will talk about this more towards the end of the broadcast. But for now, just know if everybody here watching, this is Keith's last stream. So this will be perhaps the last stream of the FC season. We shall see. We don't know, details to be determined. But all I know is Keith, this is his final race as a producer, as a broadcaster. And Sky Shrek, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, would have been her last broadcast as well. We share and send all our hearts and good vibes to her as well. And I mean, also, I have in my notes here, we're almost close to 500 subscribers. So if y'all want to be the 500 subscriber, we're only 20 away. Grab your parents' phone, grab your grandma, your grandpa, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your nieces, your nephew, your godfather, your godmother, your god sister, your god brother,
Your cat, your dog,
your cat, your dog,
your hamster,
your
goldfish,
your capybara, anyone who has access to a YouTube app, on their phone. Anyone who has a YouTube app, please go on the CIL iRacing YouTube account and hit that subscribe button. And if you are the 500th, if you can do that, hit me up on social media. I might have something fun planned for that. But 500 subscriber, who knows? Unsanctioned by myself. This is not sanctioned by CIL, so going a little bit on my end. So please do hit that subscribe button. Please let everybody know, because if we hit 500 subscribers tonight, not only will be impressive, but it will be a huge landmark and a milestone for what could be considered the last greatest broadcast for CILFC of this semester. That being said, we are currently halfway through our warm-up. So in the meantime, I wanted to, enough about me yapping. I'll yap more later down in the race. Ricky, this question goes out to you. For tonight, starting in P15, what is the strategy in terms of, going out and trying to stay out of trouble on lap 1?
Well, honestly, Sanchez, listen, these cars don't do well in the dirty air, and so you just got to know how to run different lines. And I know that you mentioned in the intro here that, when we take the cup cars around here, it tends to be a one-line racetrack. But I'll tell you what, the first couple laps in the IndyCar, it's a one-line racetrack. But after that, you can go wherever you want. So I'm looking forward to making the most out of the opportunities I have. And listen here, I wouldn't be the FC director if I didn't have a few tricks up my sleeve and a few hours of practice, all right? Let me tell you this, all right? So, and I know Ryan as well is pretty quick, so just follow Ryan Whitlock, I think, is the big plan, but we got to catch him first, so we'll see what we can do from 15th.
Well, that's a great thing to pass on to Ryan Whitlock. Ryan, how do you feel from those comments and the idea that follow Ryan Whitlock?
I don't mind them. Tell you the truth, I think my pace on ovals in FC this season has been really good. But clearly I haven't been praying to the netcode gods quite enough, because that's what ended my race at Indianapolis and ended my race here at Iowa. So, kind of like Ricky said, I'm just hoping to keep it clean here tonight. I think my pace is pretty all right, but let's see how it goes. Holy crap.
Well,
yeah, and on that note, before we go, let me warn you really quickly. We are gonna see some oval netcode tonight. It has not gone away. It has reared its ugly head to all of us. So
that is very true.
We should be very glued to our TV screens to see some fun stuff.
all right. Well, Ricky, thank you so much. Ryan, thank you so much. I'm looking at the chat right now. Alex Penaloza says, is this on iRacing? Yes, this is on iRacing. On the bottom right of your screen, it will be saying iRacing. Cheryl Byrne in the chat goes, who is on pole? Let's go over the pole. Keith, please take us into the grid. It's going to be Wyatt Burton, the number 26. Let's go represent the 26 number car in first place with a nice 24.203. Really great for him for his pole for the season. Clint Halteman on the side, the alumni driver tonight, looks like a great start for him in P2 on the outside. In row number 2, our Muhammad Ali of Boston University. He's going to start up in P3 and alongside with Commerce University's Jay Cummings in P4. Row number 3, rolling after them, is going to be Ryan Whitlock, the 81, one of our fellow booth members for University of Alabama Huntsville.
Panel, if you will.
Part of the esteemed panel. And also, hold on, Nick Stockner, P6, the other esteemed panel. And as you see right there, folks, 1,000th of a second separates P5 and P6. That's how competitive tonight it will be. Followed by them, Dylan Beatty, Ball State University, in P7, alongside with Cale Davidson, his other Ball State teammate, in P8. Rounding about our top 10, Nick Henley, another Ball State University, P9, and Marlo Duncan, a Milwaukee School of Engineering, P10 to round about there. Lucas Moody, a P11 for Ball State, Ben Fiore for Marist College, and P12. Rounding about in row 7 is going to be Cohen Evans of Purdue University in Indianapolis, and P13. I know how competitive he could be. Let's see if he can get through the field quickly. And Aiken Lamar of Howard Community College in P14. And our previous Oval winner, Aiken Lamar, unfortunately I was not there to see it, but heard amazing stories about that. Ricky Paz, East Carolina University, P15, your third esteemed panel, who's also here tonight. And Andrew Burrows, P16 of Clemson University, rounds about with him on the outside. Garrett Weitzen, ASU, Arizona State University, in P17, his part-time start. Let's see if he can have a better luck than Indy. Jason Wallet of Drexel University in P18. Andrew Williams, Clemson University, P19, starting outside with him. Alexander Diamond, one of our fellow stewards for Drexel University, rounding about our top 20. Andrew Voigt of Pennsylvania State University, P21. And P22 for Brandon Schulenberger, who also a part-time start. Not that bad, but he's going to make his way up to the field. Hopefully, Lee Kane, University of Southern Mississippi, P23. And Troy Camion is outside in P24 for New England College. Adrian Tipogoic, St. Clair College, Keith's teammate, will be cheering on for him in P25. And Ethan Decatur for
Ethan Decatur hype.
Ethan Decatur hype indeed. P26. Alan Hong, St. Clair College, and P27. The GOAT Hong. We'll see if he's got something up his sleeve. And Alex Finetti of UNC Charlotte in P28. And that is what we predicted, a 28 field. It looks like it's going to be that for now. Driver picks of the day. I'm going to go with one of the esteemed panel who unfortunately cannot be here in the booth. Is going to be Nick Stockner. I believe that he has a really great Texas, I would say, performance. And to pass it on to Ricky and Ryan, no, you cannot choose yourselves. Please pick someone else other than yourselves.
What if I pick Ryan and Ryan picks me? Does that...
That counts. That is fair game. Is that true, Ricky?
I don't know. Listen, I think that Nick and Ryan are pretty quick. I'm not really counting out a Leaf, but Lucas Moody is probably my number one choice here tonight. I know he's really quick on ovals. Dude knows how to wheel it, and yeah, definitely watch out for him.
All right. So, Ryan Whitlock, your pick for tonight's race.
Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I did just go first in the warm-up. But, I don't hate the Lucas pick. I don't hate the Nick pick. Okay. But I think ultimately Clint Halterman starting P2 won Nashville and was in good positions for Indy and Iowa before his races fell apart for various reasons out of his control. So I think Clint Halterman might be my pick for the night based on his performance at Nashville.
Well, I surely would say that's not a bad pick. And Clint starting up on the front row, I have not seen that in quite a while. And seeing quite a while is the race analysis. You folks are probably asking, where is it? Well, there it is, folks. Race length, 125 laps in total. It's going to be, as I said, 60 to 70 laps estimated fuel now from what I've heard from the drivers. Tires won't matter much. It's more about how much fuel could you save. So it's going to be a priority for these drivers to really know how to fuel save, how to coast into the corner, how to use that to their advantage to prolong their fuel stint. That being said, one thing to note, there is no push to pass on this track. We are racing on an oval, so no need for push to pass. It is purely on getting that slipstream, being in the perfect opportunity to get that, sending it into turn one. And also, that being said, no mandatory tire swap, compound swap, I would say.
Because there is only one compound.
There is only one compound. Exactly. Pace car is off, and as they say in Texas, yeehaw, let's go racing at Texas. The green flag is out, and in the lead, takes it away is Wyatt Burton. What a jump by him. And an amazing start. I hope it's not a black flag, as Wyatt Burton takes it into turn one as the leader. And in third place, as you see right there, side by side, is going to be a Leaf and Halterman. A Leaf trying to hold out on the outside, still side by side, down into turn three. Who's going to be making a move? It looks like a Leaf still holding on to the inside, but Clint Halterman,
Wyatt just got loose.
That preferred outside lane, is not going to be able to hold on, as the Leaf is going to look for two passes. Down into turn one, he has Jay Cummings, and behind, Ryan Whitlock in the bottom, as you see there in the blue car. But Wyatt Burton is going to lose. He's going to be able to manage and hold on to the lead. A close contact there with Nick Stockman, who's moved up to P3. Jay Cummings trying to hold on to the inside. And unfortunately, Clint Halterman, he lost 4 positions in that whole transition right there. As right now, Ryan Whitlock trying to maybe get an attack onto his fellow director. On the inside of Stockner, he goes. Oh, and Nick Stockner all the way on the outside. He's going to try and get a better run, but he's going to lose out on that position. Ryan Whitlock all the way on the bottom, 3 wide, as it's going to be Dylan Beatty through the middle. He's going to try and thread the needle, and he does. He moves up into P5, but Ryan Whitlock, he managed to hold on to P6, P7, I should say, as that is going to be Cale Davidson taking P7 against Nick Stockner. Stockner going the wrong way around. He's going to have to start running the bottom to try to maybe get back into this race.
Man, I gotta say, only 4 laps in, this is extremely intense. This is way closer to pack racing than I was expecting. Dirty Air is not making as much of a difference as I would think, and Toe is making more of a difference than I would think. So this is extremely intense. I'm kind of losing my mind. I'm seeing some names up here that are putting in some really good performances. Not used to seeing them this high up. I think this is anybody's game only 5 laps in.
Well, focus up, Brian, because you've got some company behind you. Cale Davidson now trying to make a move here. He's going to try and get a slipstream, folks. We are on board with the man who was just talking somehow while he's racing, Ryan Whitlock in the 81 for the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Can he make a move here on the outside? He's going to try and get that sweet toe. And you heard from the driver, the toe, the draft, the slipstream. It makes so much of a difference, especially on a track here where there is no push to pass. There's no compound swell. This is just good old oval racing. As you see up front, Wyatt Burns still holding on to the lead, but not for long, as it's going to be Muhammad Ali. He's going to take it a really wide entry to turn 1. He's going to try and maybe hold on to it, but on the bottom there, you see the purple car is Converse University, Jake Cummings. He's going to try and make something into the turn 3. He's going to use that dark spot on the track. You see that? I call it the grippy lane. It is where the rubber really lays down more on this track, where the preferred lane for more tire grip, I should say. And as you see there, they're still battling 3 wide. And you see that car up on the top all the way to the fence. That's on Muhammad Ali. He's taking an unconventional turn into turn 1, I should say, an unconventional line. But he's gonna chop the nose of Jay Cummings. He's gonna get a nice slipstream, but Jay Cummings also behind him, and Claire Holtzman also trying to get a quick slipstream everywhere around. They're all jostling for position. It's a miracle, and I hope I'm not jinxing this. No netcode for now. As we're on board with Jay Cummings on the 95, you see there on his face the concentration. It is mostly a game of just really who's gonna chicken out into the first corner, because it's all about the trust and really the level of respect you have with these drivers side by side, because one small mistake could cost you and the other driver early retirement. And once again, Alif taking that outside lane a lot. I mean, I can tell you right now, folks, as a Cup driver, that is not the ideal lane, but we mentioned it with these Indy cars, the Lara IR18, with all this downforce, and Alif, he's gonna chop off the nose of Clay Halterman as he's able to stop the run going into the quad oval. It was a great move by Alif, but he look at that, he compromised his exit of turn 2. Ryan Whitlock, he's gonna send it in. Maybe he's gonna stay on the outside. He's gonna think twice, but a nice exit for Jay Cummings. He's gonna move up into P2. Side by side out of 4. Ooh, never mind. Looks like Clay Holtzman lost a lot of speed. He's gonna fall back. He falls back into P6. Not what he wanted out of turn 4.
Yeah, I think Clint just made the cautious decision there. I don't think I was going to get into him. Certainly wasn't trying to, but he might have just been cautious due to netcode there. Can never be too wary of those netcode gods. These cars are actually flying right now, guys. The toe is so strong. I'm hitting the rev limiter in 6th gear on the front stretch. I was not expecting this to be the type of racing we get tonight.
Right, and on board with Ryan Whitlock and his testimony. Oh, and he's almost going to get chopped off there, as on the inside, it looks like Cale Davidson, once again, a thorn by his side. He's not letting him go anytime soon, but Whitlock being able to send it in into turn 3. He's going to make a little bit of a margin, a 10th there. But folks, remember, we are going 226 miles per hour down into the turn 1 and 3, in the front stretch. They're almost hitting 230 miles per hour at a 1.5 mile track on an oval. It's almost unheard of, but yet you are realizing it right now as Ryan Whitlock being stalked by Cale Davidson on board there. We saw him with his just concentration at its peak. And on the roll bar, you can see, hi, Mom. And so hi to Mrs. Davidson, as he's going to try and make a move here on the inside, but nothing comes up. He comes up a little bit short. He's going to have to fall back in line with Ryan Whitlock. But a note from the producer, yes, this has been one of the cleanest oval race starts in CILFC history. I mean, no one has crashed. It looks like all 28 drivers are still on the track itself, so they got their act together. And someone who's getting their act together is Garrett Weitzen. Right now, tracking in P9. I believe that he started, if I'm not mistaken, P17. So right now, I could comfortably say he is one of Seattle's biggest movers as Cale Davidson trying to maybe make a move, but he doesn't. As we see on board for the Arizona State University, the Sun Devil driver. On board here as he takes that inside line. We're going to maybe stay here for a lap as we see him try to get closer and closer to Marlo Duncan. We saw him make a move on Lucas Moody. Lucas Moody didn't put up much of a fight. I think he's going to think long-term game, try to save these tires. As you see there on the bottom, 223, 225, down into turn 1, 227. And folks, that's not being close enough to get a really good slipstream off the back of Marlo Duncan. As you see there, a little bit high up there for him in P7. But looks like Jake and Alif are battling. Who knows who's going to be the title contender here? And it's going to be Jake Cummings. Is going to be right behind them is Ryan Whitlock, as we're going to go on board as you heard the ominous sniffing. Cue the Jaws music as he's right there, and as Alif once again taking that unconventional high line, and he's going to be able to get a better exit speed. But Jake Cummings trying to get there in time. Out of turn 4, he's going to try and get a nice slipstream, but behind him, Ryan Whitlock has won the 81. He's going to go. Wow, Jake Cummings seems like he got off the gas a little bit to try to avoid hitting the back of Alif, but that's going to compromise into turn 1 as it looks like Whitlock trying to maybe lock into the inside, going to turn 3 side by side. Whitlock having the desired inside lane, but no, he's going to wash up a little bit, probably having to let off some gas to make the corner, but Jake Cummings able to survive another day in P3, but not for long. Ryan Whitlock once again close and closer.
Yep, I let off the gas there. We're only 20 laps in.
Yeah, you want to at least have a chance to fight for the last lap. As Clint Holtzman onto the inside of Cale Davidson, back into P5, the battle for P5, arguably really, I would say a hot spot right now. Is top 4 has pulled away, but for the battle for fifth, I've seen has been really being traded between Clint and Cale, but Cale now being able to really hold on. And Marlo Duncan, he's going to go to the inside of Clint Holtzman. It's going to be side by side. Duncan, Holtzman into turn 3. Duncan trying to hold off to the inside, but Clint has that preferable outside lane. I'm noticing he's fighting. But look at that, folks, on the bottom right. If you don't think this is really an athletic sport, well, it is. And he's going to send it in. He makes the pass on Clint, but hold on, folks, the old switcheroo as Clint Holtzman goes back in front of Marlo Duncan in P6, and through goes Holtzman, and gonna hold off once again. But folks, look at that wheel, look at the level of attrition. These drivers have a lot to handle, and going up to speeds up to 230 miles per hour, it is going to be a lot.
Jake just smacked the wall hard.
As we saw, yeah, Jake Cummings hit the wall. I was going to ask Ricky, if you have the time, give us an update. We see you a little bit back there in P18. How is it going with the car right now?
Yeah, we picked up some damage early trying to avoid a big one. There's plenty of wall smacking back here, so take the little bit of damage I got and try and manage.
Manage indeed, and as you see here, you heard it there, folks. I mean, he had to cut himself off because it's a lot of concentration there for this track, as he's currently tracking our FC director in P18. Unfortunate damage, but we'll see if the later part of the run he can get back up there with tires. And on board here with the leap, and behind the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Excitement, Wyatt Burton, now considered Mr. Excitement from the chat on YouTube, and Ryan Whitlock trying to stay into 4th place there. He's got a comfortable lead, I would say, a cushion between him and Cale Davidson, around 0.7 a second. So Whitlock locked into 4th for now, but can he lock himself into the podium? Oh, as we're with Nick Henley. What a timing there, as we saw him unfortunately hit the wall, but Lucas Moody sitting on the inside. I will consider this an easy pass. No! Moody on the inside, still side by side, as the Ball State teammates are gonna have a duke out here. It is between Nick Henley, another battle here for Marist College and Ball State. Dylan Beatty and Ben Fiore for the battle for 8th. So 8th place being threatened by Dylan Beatty. And right there we have there on camera is Dylan Beatty. one of the CIL rookies of the season. And I've got to say, folks, it's been an honor to watch this kid just defend and race as much as he can for his first ever season start in the CIL FC. And it's been a treat. One of the academy drivers for Ball State. Had a few talks with him here and there. Overall, this season, he's been really, really happy. And Ryan Whitlock has taken P3. Folks, we have a podium alert. It is Ryan Whitlock for University of Alabama Huntsville. Takes it away from Commerce University, but behind them has caught a little bit of a traffic. It looks like Cale Davidson now caught up behind Jay Cummings, or Marlo Duncan is going to be a battle it's going to be tightly scrutinized there as almost Glenn Ultimate into the wall. Drew Williams sending it really high up, and as low as he can go. But Nick Henley, he's going to be the one to take the position for P12.
I think tires are starting to matter just a little bit. Not so much through 3 and 4, but through 1 and 2. I'm still so surprised by how many options drivers have through 1 and 2. I think Jake Cummings might have smacked the wall coming out of turn 2 a couple times. That was why I was able to get by him. But man, I'm just so surprised by how these cars are handling through 1 and 2. Highline is an option here, folks, which is not something you can say in the Cup car.
Indeed it is, and as experience in the Cup car, yes, it is so much. It's a lot with the car, with how heavy it is and how much of a one-lane track. But folks, you see it right there. 5 different lanes to choose from. You could fit maybe 8 Indy Delara cars from here to the bottom of the apron, but right now, who's going to fit on the bottom? It looks like it's going to be Cale Davidson trying to hold on to Clint Halterman there, as Clint trying to maybe get past the Commerce University driver on the inside. But folks, you see it right there. Tires are now a thing to worry about. As mentioned by Ryan Whitlock, it looks like taking it higher and higher as we got ourselves pit stops. Looks like Troy Cammy is in the pits, Brandon Schulenberger in the pits, and Nick Stockner in the pits. Now, I don't know if it's damage, but I believe Stockner is coming out, and I don't see no damage, so I wonder if this is a regular scheduled pit stop, as he's going to come out right in front of the leaders. Can he hold on to being a lap in front? Yes, he does. He's going to send it. Oh, no, he doesn't. And it looks like it's going to be Wyatt Burton, the first lap car on the field. It's going to be Nick Stockner, for reasons unknown to us right now, as he's going to maybe be a little bit of a roadblock as a Leaf going to have to take that wide outside lane, but maybe it's because of those cold tires. Oh, and Nick Stockner slides up the old switcheroo move. But Ryan Whitlock also trying to do the switcheroo move on Marlo Duncan down onto the inside of turn 3. He's going to try and hold the car, slides up a little bit.
Caution's out, gents.
man.
Caution's out.
Caution is out, folks. Our first caution of the day. Not sure who was the victim of the first caution, as you see the beautiful lights of Texas light up. And it's the Goat Hong in caution. It looks like, as we got the broadcast booth perhaps hinting at us, but we'll see for a little bit of update.
It was on.
Man, I just barely got by Marlo Duncan right when that yellow came out too. So just unfortunate yellow timing, but
Of course.
I am not complaining about that yellow flag, because that might have been some of the most intense oval racing I've ever done in this service.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, Ryan, and I'll tell you both. We are in the pit window. This is going to be an easy 2-stop race. This is huge. It's 1 stop from here, so it's all about strategy. What do you do with your car? What do you do with your tires and fuel? You got 1 more.
Well, we got everyone pitting in. It looks like every single driver who has common sense is going to get 4 fresh Firestone tires, a full refuel of fuel, and as Ricky said, it's going to be a 1-stopper from here on out, so it will be interesting to see how much people are going to try and save fuel, because I don't think you have to save fuel from here on out. As we see there, the top 5 cars in their pit lane. We'll see who's going to come out first, which pit crew does the job better. And it's going to be a slide in the tires, as Wyatt Burton is going to be able to slide in front of a Leaf. And once again, Burton on top in first, as you saw there on the timing score left side. As we see all the drivers just slowly getting out of the pits, all on fresh 4 Blackstone
No position
tires.
change for the top 6.
No
I'm
position
pretty sure.
gains. It looks like, I was just about to mention that, Ryan. No position gain on that pit stop. I mean, yeah, at least you didn't lose any spots, right?
Yeah, I think the top 6 stayed as it was, which makes sense. You know, I feel like there's less margin for time to be gained or lost compared to the NASCAR than these Indy cars. But that's just my personal opinion. Seems like everybody, especially under yellow, just got into the box, exited the box, not trying too hard to make up spots here.
Yeah, indeed. I was gonna say, Ricky, any updates there in the back? Unfortunately, you said you had damage. Were you able to repair some of your
Yeah, we're getting
optionals?
some of it repaired. I think really I just want to get some of the action from the back. One of the best things about being the director is getting to race and see what the racing quality is like. And there's no better way to do that than to be at the front and at the back over the course of the season. So, yeah, hopefully we can run every position from here to the end. I think we've done it. Uh, because we've been all over the place this season, but yeah, we'll see. We got some of the damage fixed. We'll see what we can do here.
Well, getting action from the back is certainly an interesting way to put it. And right there, we are going to go green, I believe, next time around. And Kale Davidson, a little bit of a jump scare for you folks at home. And well, looking at the chat right now, folks, just trying to connect with the viewers. And just to also highlight all these really incredible drivers and amazing drivers to give us the live feed for them from there and be able to show it to you guys, to show you guys what these drivers are going through tonight, and really every race, each race, week in and out. But I think what Ryan said it best, this is one of the most intense oval racing to be in it, of course, and to be driving just side by side. The margins are just of error is so minuscule that one small mess up and mess is going to be able to, unfortunately, end the race for everybody behind or themselves. And just want to mention quickly, 32 people watching live from the YouTube page. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm trying to pull up Social Blade so I can see the live timing, but we are getting there, folks. 500 subscribers, the 500 subscriber live stream. This could be it, guys. Type I'm here, chat, because it's going to go racing here again as the lights are off. The pace car, as it looks like I believe one car is going to take the wave around, and the one
Nick
person to
Stockner.
highlight tonight, I want to highlight really is, I believe that was Nick Stockner taking the wave around. So he's going to be back on the lead lap, and he got those fresh tires from that early pit stop, I should say. So unfortunate, but fortunate enough for Nick Stockner. But one highlight I do want to focus on is Mr. Excitement, the man up front in first, Wyatt Burton holding off a Leaf. As we saw the number 26 driver, go number 26. He is currently putting up a good fight for Leaf, and knowing everything that's happening, it is going to be an incredible battle for the top 5 here at Texas.
I think Wyatt's going to have the advantage here on the restart, starting first, given that these restarts are single file. But you want to know what I think is going to happen, fellas?
We're going to have another yellow.
I think that first stint was a lot of people learning. This second stint is going to be a lot of people racing.
Well, I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. That's almost every official race in iRacing. But let's officially go back under green as the green flag is out. Pace car is driving in. Let's see if Wyatt Burton can hold off better than Lando Norris and be first place into turn 1 as green flag is away, and Wyatt Burton, he's going to get a good jump, and he's going to be able to hold off the lead into turn 1, and a Leaf behind him, P2, Duncan, Whitlock, Halterman, 3 and 4 and 5 respectively. As you saw there, a little bit of jostling position. He goes around. I believe that is a ball stage driver down the track.
Lucas Moody.
It's Lucas Moody. Ricky, you absolutely not jinxed him. But Lucas Moody looks like he is out of this race. Unfortunately for him, it looks like, I believe, those tires were a little bit cold. He was trying to attack Nick Henley from the outside, and he spun the tires. Unfortunately, he maybe perhaps ate a little, as they say, bit off more than you can chew. Ryan and Ricky, what are your thoughts on such occasion? Perhaps you guys are not surprised?
I'll tell you exactly what I think happened. Go ahead, Ricky.
Well, I just want to, harken back to what I said at the beginning. I mentioned that this would be a multi-groove track, but listen, it's going to take a couple laps. Those first couple of laps, you really got to settle the tires in before you start doing anything crazy. I think that we see why in this incident right here. It looks like he just got loose on the top side, and we'll get the replay here in just a second so all of you can see. But listen, as drivers, this is not the best thing that we can do to run that high this early. So, yeah, maybe just lost it on it.
I know exactly what happened.
What
Tell you what,
happened?
in the dirty air, as the car gets tighter, we're softening our front roll bars, stiffening our rears, giving it a little weight jacker, and that doesn't apply on a restart when you're not going full speed ahead into turn one. So I think what might have happened is Lucas was making car adjustments based on how the car was handling full speed in dirty air, and the car did not appreciate that going into turn one on a restart.
That's a wonderful point. If you don't sit and you don't reset your tools after a caution, you know, you're gonna have a lot to pay for. And unfortunately, Lucas Moody, a veteran of our series, I think just learned why that's important.
And why is that important? Because Wyatt Burton is in front in the lead. Sorry, I just wanted to rhyme something real quickly. But yes, it's unfortunate what happened to Lucas Moody. And from my super duper high definition binoculars, I was able to see that what happened was Lucas Moody was behind Nick Henley. He got too close there, and as Nick Henley kind of stayed in the middle, Lucas went to the outside. And the moment that he got fresh air, the moment he was out of the dirty air, that front end just started to lose a little bit of traction, and he just absolutely started spinning the rears. And we have one potential driver here for a quick interview. That is going to be a Leaf, and we'll see if we can get him. Oh, sorry,
That would be
Lucas Moody. Sorry, wrong ball state driver. Lucas Moody, let's bring him into the booth. Lucas, unfortunate what happened. I just saw you got a little bit of dirty air, then you got that fresh air, and it unbalanced your car. Ryan Whitlock and Ricky Paz here in the booth too, saying maybe you didn't adjust your adjustments in time during that caution. What happened?
It was I don't know. I'm just not in a racing mood right now.
Okay.
So I don't feel good. Um, but then also no, I didn't expect us to be lifting mid corner.
Okay.
And I didn't want to rear end my teammate, so I had to like fully lift off and get out of line, so I didn't rear end my teammate. I had to brake a little bit, so yeah, just a combination of sliding up the track, and I think the brakes unsettled the car. And just now my tools were they're still standard. Yeah, just 2.5 plus 3. So they're still what I would be running regularly.
That's on the looser end, I think. That's just my craziest guess. So you think it's
Yeah.
just a little bit of lift off, giving it brake oversteer?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is a little bit on the looser end, but I mean, you kind of have to take out all the tightness from the car. What are they saying? I might come up. I might just be a caster now.
Well,
Lucas,
we got.
chat says he's a little moody, so we
Chad?
just want
He said, "quote
thank you,
He's
Chad.
moody, guys." Lol, as Jim Pop said in the chat.
First time we've heard that one.
Hey,
That's a good one.
listen, Lucas, we know that you are coming out of the AMR safety crew team hospital inside the infield. We know that you know, you might have a little bit of a headache, a little bit of a concussion. That looked like a rough wreck. So thanks for joining us. Is there anyone you want to shout out on the team?
Oh, I'm not leaving. Don't worry. I'll do shout outs later. I'm set. You guys can't get rid of me that easily.
Here we go. We've got a new caster, guys.
Get him out of the booth. I'm trying to race.
I'm so sorry.
It's for Keith's last stream. I gotta you know.
Guys, we can keep him for guest caster for the next little green flag run, and then we'll have him go do his duties for BSU and for Vortex Motorsports.
All right.
Oh, I have stuff to do still. No. I want to go play Overwatch, bro.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that's going to be the end for Lucas Moody for saying Overwatch. We'll say goodbye to him. He's already moved out. Sorry for Lucas Moody.
Listen, we have a professional stream we're running here. We can't mention any other video games.
All right, we are about to go green, fellas.
What do you mean other video games, Ricky?
Hold on.
Are you calling this not a video game?
Let me.
You're calling this a video game?
Listen, folks. This is not traffic court yet. We'll save this after the race, but right now we're gonna go green. Ricky Paz in P15 or P16. Ryan Whitlock, you see right there, folks.
P22.
All right, P22, Ricky. As we see there on board, Ryan Whitlock, P4. And safety car is going to go in. Lucas Moody, welcome to the booth. It's been a while. I remember we had our little broadcast we
can I
did
call a
back
restart by
last
chance?
semester. Go ahead, call it in.
Here we go. Wyatt Burton will lead the grid away.
Oh, I just
And
got
as
jumped
he
so
gets off,
bad.
he gets an amazing jump. A leaf has fallen back. Is he able to make a move? Is he able to get a good slipstream here into turn 1? He's not going to be able to make anything happen. What is happening down in the pack? Any moves? Looks like we're too wide for P4. Clint Halterman will take P4 off of, I believe, this Marlo Duncan. And now I believe, I don't recognize everyone's numbers. That's Ryan Whitlock going on the inside of Marlo Duncan. Ryan, can you make it stick? Yes, he can. I believe that now puts Ryan Whitlock up into P4 as Marlo Duncan has lost 2 positions off that restart. But look at the front of the field. A Leaf wants to challenge for the lead, wants to challenge Wyatt Burton. Can he get it done? Can he keep his win streak alive? Here we go into the final corner. Can he get something here on exit? Can he get the run he needs into turn 1? He's looking for the inside line here. The inside line is very overpowered here, folks. Is he gonna go outside? He's gonna get squeezed into the wall. He's not going to be able to get anything though because how long the outside line is.
Yeah, but Lucas, I've been watching. Oh,
Holy
and Ryan
moly.
Whitlock is going to be able to be taken on the inside. Marlo Duncan, he's going to take that nice, the grippy lane, I call it, Lucas Moody, that dark spot on the track. And Ryan Whitlock gets trained. He gets trained through by Jake Cummings on the inside as well, and he's going to fall back in P6. Not a good start for Ryan Whitlock. And I mentioned that he was in P4. He fell back to P5 immediately, as it looks like Glenn Ultimate. He's going to be the CIL biggest mover of this restart. He currently has the fastest lap as Marlo Duncan. He's going to try and send it in onto the outside there of Jake Cummings. But look at that in front of you. On board, Glenn Ultimate side by side is Leaf and Burton. Down into turn 1. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Because they don't really use brakes, right? They just lift. And it looks like it's gonna be Burton. He's gonna hold off on the lead outside of 2. But Clint Halterman, he might think this is an opportunity to take advantage of, but for now, he's gonna sit nice and pretty in P3.
Yeah, Leaf is trying to look around the outside of Wyatt Burton into 1 and 2, just not able to get it done. That is a very tough spot to overtake, and you really have to either get the inside line or the driver in head has to let you have the inside line, or if you're able to. Oh, and Clint Halterman has lost his spot to Marlo Duncan. Just talking about how the outside line is bad, I was quickly proven wrong as Marlo Duncan went straight around the outside of Clint Halterman.
We might have an opportunity here. And we're sensing on the outside of Jay Cummings, but he's not going to be able to do something there. He's gonna take the outside and a leap. And it looks like Wyatt Burton is going to try and hold off the inside, but we know the inside of turn 1 and 2, you get a really bad exit speed, and Alif has to run the outside once again, but he's going to try and get down to the grippy lane. He does. As Alif, he gets a little bit washed up. He got a little bit of dirty air, but Wyatt Burton holding off to the inside.
Guys,
he's
something happened to Drew Williams.
1 and 2. And further back in the field, we got a wreck, but no caution, it looks like, and it looks like Drew Williams. He's going to send it into pit lane.
Oh, he's done.
Unfortunately,
he just exit the car.
He's done for the day.
Wow,
Lucas Moody, you have experience in
Williams.
for now. Marlo Duncan in P3. How do you see this playing out, Lucas? Your teammate up front trying to hold on P2, but Clint Ultimate just sent it in onto the inside, right behind the Burton. He's going to be side by side with the Leaf, but once again, we know that the outside is going to have a better run. But on the inside is going to be Marlo Duncan onto the inside of Clint Halterman, down into 3. Lucas, I'm running out of breath. Go ahead.
Yeah, Clint left the door open there going into 3. He went for the move on the inside of a Leaf, wasn't able to get it done because he had the dirty air from Wyatt Burton, and he did not close the door. So Marlo Duncan was able to take that inside line in 3 and 4, which 3 and 4, you want the inside line. 1 and 2, they're probably equal. You probably want the outside, maybe the inside. But let's see as Clint Halterman is going back for the attack. Now we're on board with one of our casters, Ryan Whitlock, who's currently being set by Cale Davidson. These two are not only fighting for position, but they're fighting in the championship standings. They're very close. I believe only a couple points separate them right now. Only, I believe, 10 points separate Ryan, Cale, and Clint in the point standings. So all 3 of those drivers are very close, and any results here could have huge championship implications. And now Garrett Vighton comes out of nowhere. I thought the livery wasn't loading in for a second, as Garrett and Cale are now both looking to the inside of Ryan Whitlock. It's almost as if my shouting is distracting him.
Well, it might, maybe, who knows? But Ryan Whitlock in P9, or sorry, P8, he's gonna have to maybe get back and get it together as Jay Cummings trying to maybe sniff on the outside, but he doesn't. As Marlo Duncan, we saw him aggressive here and there. The CIL rookie for the FC rookie making a mark today, and but Jay Cummings on the inside gets a good run, almost a little bit of a hit, maybe net code, but once again gets away. But with that, Lucas, thank you so much for being here in the booth. I'd like to let you know that it was great seeing you tonight racing. Unfortunate end, but good luck in the next one.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do my shout outs really quickly. Shout out my 11.5-minute pit stop. That's making a nice feature on the stream right now. I'd also, of course, got to shout out my teammates. I don't feel like listing them all out right now. My mom, my dad, my younger brother Andrew, Vortex, Overton Setup Shop, and Danny Bika.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lucas. Good luck in your next race.
Thank you.
And
You know, it's so interesting to me.
Go ahead.
It looks like a pack of bees back here outside the top 10. Everyone is kind of just hitting for every last ounce of room on the track. It's been a struggle fest with the draft and the dirty air back here. It's awesome.
Well, you know what's awesome? We are currently 19 subscribers away from hitting 500 subscribers. So, folks, if you haven't already, grab your grandpas, grab your grandmas, grab every phone you can in your living room, in your house, and subscribe to the Collegiate iRacing League. We just got a subscriber. We're currently 481. Now we're 19 away. That is +1 from the beginning of the stream. Anyways, enough about plug-in. Let's plug into the race. Marlo Duncan, P4. He's going to look on the outside of Clint Halterman. We're going to go on board here with Marlo Duncan.
There's a wreck in 1 and 2.
It looks like we got a big wreck into 1 and 2. And it's Andrew Burrow for Clemson University. We saw Garrett Weitzen sending it in on the inside, making the pass on Duncan for P4, and Duncan almost getting into the back of him. But wow, what an amazing battle. Jay Cummings up, I mean, really down into P9. So really going backwards is right now Garrett Weitzen up 13 positions up into P4. Now, it's one thing to note, folks, in the and I think 3 or 4 rounds ago when we were doing the Indianapolis race in the oval configuration, Garrett Weitzen was somewhat of a dark horse pick. I mean, the man, I mean, he is all in black right now for the Arizona State University car. He went up into P3. Unfortunately, could not do anything from there, but he also gained ground in that race. So it might be this style of race, I would say, racing that really, I guess, suits his driving style. So up into P4, amazing job for him. Anyways, enough about glazing. Oh, wow. Some of the people half pitting in, half pitting out. Whoa.
Split decision.
Split decision. I think we just saw a pit lane violation, perhaps. I don't know. But Ryan Whitlock, tell me from your perspective, that was a little bit close call with you and Kale.
Looked like Kale was going to. I mean, I left him room. All good. No harm, no foul. I think this is going to be really interesting strategy-wise because from here until the end, you can't quite make it on fuel. If we get yellows, you will be able to, but if we get yellows, you're also going to want to pit again for tires. So I don't know. We'll see how the strategy shakes out. I think it's going to add a lot to the race having split decisions.
Okay, well, Ricky, how about you? Did you go in and get tires?
I sure as heck did go in and pit tires, and listen, I passed my teammate on the pit cycle, so nothing is better than the big smile of defeat on my face for Ethan Decatur. But hey, listen, this mid pack is going to be a beast here at the end of the race. It's been a blast, but it has been dangerous. I mean, it has been some of the most fun, and listen, if it ever gets boring up front, just take a look back here, because working my way from 22nd to currently P14, it looks like, man, this is different.
Well, Ricky, I gotta say, I don't think it's gonna get boring up front based on what I've seen.
Ricky, I was about to mention, I'm sorry, man, but based on everything happening up front. Yeah.
I'm not worried about me. I'm happy for the fans, dude. I feel like we need a CIL red zone for a broadcast, like in-car camera of every single person, because this is insane racing.
Right, and unfortunately, my pick of the night in the pits again, Nick Stockner on, I believe, lap down. So he did incur some damage. Potentially, he's going to have to make more repairs. So unfortunate night for him. Brandon Schulenberger also into the pits. Maybe got a little bit of a net code. I'm looking back here. But of course, Nick just deciding to just take a break as he's going to maybe stretch a little bit there. Unfortunately, he's going to be a lap down, but who knows? Don't count him out yet, folks.
Here's
But
the thing that's very interesting about that Stockner story. That opening run almost made us feel that we were going to go green, so that was a green flag pit stop. He pitted around lap 30, and we've got about 50 laps in the tank with the current draft and everything. It's going to be it was going to be a two-stop race. We are probably not close enough to the end to do it from this stop right here, but we're going to have one more stop for sure. And listen, he just got the wrong end of the strategy, so it's a real shame. He's a quick driver, but hopefully he'll be able to get back out here and get some luck.
I sure hope so as well. And I believe the pace car is still lights on, so we're not going green yet.
I
But
do
yeah,
believe Wyatt Burton just clinched the bonus point for most laps led. Excuse me, 2 bonus points for that. Yeah, I think he just clinched
oh,
that.
well, congratulations to Wyatt Byrne. I believe someone in the chat is excited for that one. As Jim Pop in the chat says, just blame it on the Firestones. Indeed, anytime, whatever happens, blame it on the tires. And thinking of blaming, let's blame onto the top 5. First place up front, Mr. Excitement, Wyatt Burton, the number 26 up front in charge and leading in front of our Muhammad Ali from Boston University in P2. P3, Marlo Duncan of Milwaukee School of Engineering, another impressive drive from him. You don't see him often in the top 3, so it's going to be a treat here to the end. Behind them, Cale Davidson, the number 2 driver, Ball State University, could consider him the number 2 driver of Ball State behind the Leaf.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, P4 for
That's
him.
controversial. Wow.
Well, folks, we're gonna move. Controversial, maybe, but look, it's Ryan.
Well, here,
Whitlock
let me tell you one thing.
Go
Let
ahead,
me tell
Ricky.
you one thing really quickly after we just finished the top 5. The third driver of BSU, Lucas Moody, is back on track 22 laps down. So
Well,
I
Lucas
am
Moody
the
back on track.
unequivocal #1 FC driver at UAH. How about that?
Is it because?
the other UAH driver is in the steward's booth. Hopefully he hands you a penalty up there.
Oh boy, oh boy!
I'm about to go green.
In terms of handing penalties, let's go and get this race rolling. Wyatt Burton takes the green flag. Let's go racing here at Texas again. Once again, Wyatt Burton, better than Landon Norris, holds off the lead into lap into turn 1. A Leaf behind them, and we see all those cars jostling for position. Behind him, a Leaf is a good distance to P3, so that means Marlo Duncan does not have that tow, I would say, help, that drafting help. So Cale Davidson on the attack now, right behind him. I suspect the move into turn 1 as Cale Davidson is ever so much on his bumper. As the Ball State driver, going to look on the outside, down into turn 1. He's going to take a nice and wide entry. He's going to try and maybe cut down to the inside. But Ryan Whitlock behind him is going to try and maybe, oh, never mind, he's very far back. My bad, folks. Did not mean to, oh,
Caution's
we have
out.
a caution. Caution out in the back. Oh, and it was the big one. It looks like it is Ricky Paz, Jason Wallet, Andrew Voigt, Ethan Decatur are out of this race, folks. Let's go on board with our director. Let's see what happened. Ricky, you were a little bit quiet here, so let's see what happened before we get... Oh, no. Oh, Ricky. Oh, Ricky.
Oh, I did not just lose it, buddy. I can guarantee you I did not just lose it. That was some net code of cosmic proportions.
Okay, who's behind Ricky? Let's see here. It's Jake Cummings, I believe, at the time here.
Yeah, Jake Cummings was on my inside and just...
I'm sorry, Ricky, when you see that replay, that was the most despicable net code of all time. I mean, Ricky, he was at least a Firestone title width by you. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ricky, that was
And
unfortunate
there's the
end
ruling
for
from race
there.
control. Lap 67, no further action. Net code.
Between cars 95 and 19, 95 and 19, as what Ryan said. Yep, net code. Ricky, now that you've watched the replay, I assume by now, what are your thoughts now that you have been let go by the AMR safety team?
I think I need another 2 minutes with the AMR safety team before I start making comments. But yeah, you know, it's sometimes there's some interesting things that happen in the CIL, and unfortunately tonight's one of them. We knew that netcode was going to be an incident. I had probably the best restart there. We were up to P12, but you know, sometimes lady luck isn't on your side, and I think this whole season for this 19 car, I've been up in the booth many times. So yeah, real bummer, but really happy.
Well, as much as it is a perhaps not a good fairy tale for your season, at least you're up here in the booth having a good old time. So, unfortunately for Ricky Paz, he is out of this race. Well, who knows? He might pull a Lucas Moody and decide to go back onto the racetrack 22 laps down. And speaking of that, let's pull up Andrew Voigt from the booth. I mean, into the booth. Andrew Voigt, welcome to the booth. Talk to me through about that. That was a scary wreck. You've been just discharged by the AMR safety team. I mean, first of all, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling good. It's a bit of a bummer though when something happens like that and it's out of your control, but that's just how racing is sometimes, especially on these oval circuits.
10-4. Well, Andrew, I was able to see a little bit of a good run out of you tonight. You started in P21. You were up there fighting in the top 15. I mean, overall, how did it feel driving on tonight's oval race?
I mean, it felt good for a while. I only got like 8 minutes of practice. I really wasn't even supposed to do this race tonight. I was at an exam and it ended early, and then I kind of sprinted back here, so I was looking forward to running the whole thing. But at the end of the day, you know, an incident happened, so you move on. But it was fun for a while. It's just a bummer when situations like this happen where it's kind of out of your control. There's nothing you can do.
It's just an incident, just like the great Charles Leclerc said. Well, before we let you go, can you give us your quick shout out?
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out the broadcast booth. I mean, you guys are trying, and I appreciate all the work you guys put in and everything. And then also race control. I know they don't get a lot of credit. It's a hard job, and it's a thankless job, but they do a lot of work, so I'd like to shout out them.
Shout out to race control and stewards and everybody behind making this all happen. Amen, amen. Preach, preach. Andrew, good luck in your next race.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the race.
And speaking of enjoying the rest of the race, let me go through the chat here. We've got Jim Pop saying, make that car wide. Make that car wide, says Burton. Says Jim Pop. Show Burton in the chat. Congrats on bonus points to the number 26, Wyatt Burton. Shrine University. Congrats to Wyatt on that bonus point. And Connor, this goes out to Ryan. He says, quote, Ryan and his ego, SMH.
I don't even know what that was referring to.
Classic Connor Bingle thinking he's the #1 driver at UH. This guy, oh my god. Hey, listen, I made my way up that fancy elevator, and I'm in the broadcast booth now. So,
welcome, Ricky.
Hey, I got a little bit of a concussion from that incident. AMR safety team didn't clear me, but listen, I pulled a sneak move out of the hospital, and I'm here.
Well, you know what else's sneak move here is our subscriber count. We just got 2 subscribers in the last minute and a half. We are up to 483 subscribers. 17 away, folks. 17 away. And speaking of 17 away, we are currently 71 laps in of our 125 laps. And Ricky, with that nice, beautiful concussion you have, please take us away with this restart.
Yeah, man.
right,
Should be
watch
an
this,
exciting,
baby's
good
gonna try
restart. Let's take a look at Ryan Whitlock here, because it's gonna be a crazy one.
Dylan's gonna try to do something here.
All right, we're ready to go at any time here. We're ready to go at any
What'd I
time.
say?
And we're going green. Go. We're going.
Oh my god, I was in second gear.
Whitlock caught sleeping.
I was in second gear.
Ryan Whitlock caught sleeping. Oh my god. Hey, you want some NyQuil with your sleeping, pal? That was pretty rough. Ryan Whitlock already a second behind Cale Davidson. Listen, maybe we need to get Connor Bingle in the car. That's all I'm saying. But hey, Top 5.
He'd have died 71 laps ago.
Fourth breakaway, we got Ryan Whitlock in 5th. Battle for 6th here, Dylan Beatty and Clint. Clint's on the outside, not the preferred line, but listen, if he can make it hold up here, outside line into turn 1, that's going to be where you want to be. Right behind him, we got Nick Henley, I believe. Oh, that's Garrett Biden. My apologies. That's Garrett Biden. So, hey, this is going to be a good battle. Look at the run here. Yeah, when you get stuck on the inside as a driver here, you got nowhere to go. And look at, he's going backwards in a hurry. Teammate by teammate right there, two by two. Garrett Biden gets the pass done too. We got oh, sorry, that's Ben Fiore. My bad. These colors are getting pretty crazy. All right, listen, I drive a neon yellow car, so my colors, that's pretty easy to find. But, oh, he's drifting up the track. Yeah, that's real tight. Look, oh, we got. Hey,
Jake Cummings.
That was some close racing. Let's go to Edward here.
Well, Ricky, it was a miracle that you did not run out of breath as Jake Cummings on the outside of Nick Henley, side by side. As Jake Cummings, he's gonna have to make positions, but he's not gonna be able to make up any ground on turn 4. It looks like Nick Henley's gonna hold off at the P10, but Nick Henley, a little bit unconventional. He takes, I'm gonna call it the Elite line, taking it high up into turn 1, and unfortunately enough, he barely made the corner. But Elite, speaking of Elite, Wyatt Burton trying to hold him off once again, folks, as he's going to be able to make a move on the outside. Elite trying to maybe get a little bit of an edge, but folks, it's just like, as they say rinse and repeats, as Elite again tried to make a move out of the outside of turn 1. But to give some Ryan Whitlock love, can he maybe make up for that disastrous restart? He's behind Cale Davidson and P5 closing in on him, but behind him, the battle for P7 and P9 is side by side as he sends it in.
Drift?
What a drift! Ricky, what's happening? These tires are done already?
I don't know if Cale stayed out on that restart. I don't have that info. Looks like he did, but let me tell you, those tires are cooked. Ryan's got the best tires here.
I did not pit on that.
I don't care if you didn't pit. You save these things. These Ball State guys, they're going to the wall every single lap, but and we got the best tire 2 by 2 by 1. Oh my lord. Ryan, get it done. Get past this guy.
Ryan Whitlock on the bottom. He's got that toe, so Ryan is going to be able to hold out.
Hey, can you stay behind him? That's my teammate.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like Cale Davidson is going to be able to make the pass. He's going to be now behind his teammate, Elite, who's once again on the outside. It's the same old verse, same song on repeat as Elite. Not being able to make the pass on Wyatt Burton, as Burton is going to hold off to the inside.
Oh,
but through goes Martin! Through goes Duncan on the inside, down into turn 3. He's going to make it stick, and he's going to get P3.
That was almost an airplane crash. I think I farted a little.
Yeah, well, the fucking factor, that was a code brown for Ryan Whitlock, as once again, 3 wide. Oh, as Marlo Duncan sends it up high. He makes almost contact with Cale Davidson. Davidson on the outside holding him off. But Ryan Whitlock senses an opportunity. He's going to send it into the inside, turn 3 into that grippy lane. And he's going to grip into P4. Ricky, how intense is this racing so far with only 45 laps left?
This is some great racing. Look, here's the thing. We're getting to the point to where they're gonna have to pit under green flag, and unfortunately, I got confirmation from Nick Stockner. He's 2 laps down because of that pitting under green flag. It is not a guarantee that there will not be a caution to the end of this race. There is a real risk here by staying out, and honestly, if people were able to save enough fuel off of that last pit stop, there is a huge chance they can make it to the end. So we might see a surprise winner from back in the pack here, guys.
Well, definitely going to be interesting here as Elite once again tries the outside. But Ricky, you're seeing Elite be this aggressive, and now his teammate, he's going to have something to answer for. He's going to be able to be in the inside. I saw that he lifted, Cale lifted in the tri-oval. He's going to maybe send it on the inside. He's going to, he lifted again. But Elite has a run. But on the bottom, it's going to be Ryan Whitlock. 3 wide, going down into turn 3. And Elite going to be able to hold on.
You got to make it stick.
But Whitlock can't stick it into the grippy lane. He's still side by side down the front stretch. Look who's behind him. Is the black car of Arizona State. It's Garrett Beitzen. Where was he from? Where did he come from?
Ryan, you got to move up a lane if you want to make it stick, buddy.
And nearly a hit as Garrett Beitzen. He's going to get past Ryan Whitlock. Unfortunately, Garrett with those fresh tires. So, no. I believe now 21 lap old tires. But yeah, Garrett Weitzen with those fresher tires, 22 laps, and those top 3 with 48. He's gonna make it look easy, like stealing candy from a baby. Looking on the outside of Cale Davidson. But look at that, O'Leaf. He's driving in the middle. Ricky, is that team play right there trying to help Cale get in front of Garrett with that slipstream?
Listen, I can guarantee you that there might be some stinky team play going on here, but it's not against the rules. Can't do nothing about it.
Well, they can't do nothing about it. We're talking about is Garrett. Garrett now trying to maybe make a move on Cale, but he's going to have to, as they say, recharge better. Down to the inside is Wyatt Burton, as he and Alif were all the way to the bottom of the apron on the backstretch. Not the ideal line to go into turn 3, and that causes Cale Davidson to catch up. But look at that. Garrett Weitzen down onto the inside. He's going to send it in with 20 lap pressure tires. Can he make it stick? Once again, on board here with the Arizona State driver behind Cale Davidson. And almost getting there, but not enough, as Garrett has to settle in again in P4 behind him. Ryan Whitlock is trying to make a move. Remember folks, he did stay out on old tires, but he was saving them. So let's see if his tire saving skills comes into play here.
Yeah, Ryan, you got to keep running that high line if you want any chance here, buddy. I'm just giving you.
Nah.
You got to stay up there, man.
Highline 1 and 2 it's getting tighter though. I think I'm gonna have to keep playing with my tools here in the car if I want to make that highline work.
Hold on, folks. We got a leader change. I'm sorry, Ricky. As it looks like Alif, he's been the closest he's ever been side by side with Wyatt Burton. And now out of 2, ooh, Alif tries to go all the way to the bottom to get a little bit of that side draft. And they almost made contact. Oh, and Wyatt goes up the track a little bit. But look who's there. Cale Davidson trying to get a slipstream. Now, I don't know if he's going to do anything, but Garrett Weitzen, he's going to look into the inside. He's going to try and make a move there, as Ryan Whitlock behind him also trying to maybe stick it. But Garrett Weitzen, with those fresh tires, unfortunately, he's going to be a little bit loose, a little bit of right rear sliding behind him. But wow, a beautiful defense by Ryan Whitlock in P5, as Marlo Duncan, he's entered the battle once again.
Yeah, Marlo has indeed entered the chat here, and let me tell you, Marlo, he's been someone to be very proud of this season. If you're Marlo's parents, very, very impressive racing. But listen, this is a little breather. You might think they're taking a breather, but Alif, man, he is sizing up that next move. As you see, look, here you go, taking the run to the outside. You got to get the run in 3 and 4 to make the pass in 1 and 2. There's no chance of making this pass if you can't run the outside in 1 and 2. Cale look into the high line, probably for some clean air. Look, we're getting to the point on these tires where we are so tight. Ryan, tell us about how tight it is up there.
Well,
I'm scared.
We should talk to him right now, because he almost got in the battle there with Marlo Duncan. I think on the radio to apologize. Oh, Cale Davidson making a move, maybe. He's going to try and look onto the inside. But no, he gets cut off by Wyatt Burton on the quad oval. Once again, Wyatt Burton sends it in on the inside. Alif loses the position. Cale Davidson up into V2. But Garrett Weitzen, he's going to try and get a slipstream with Alif on the backstretch. Down into turn 3, side by side. Cale Davidson on the inside. Remember, folks, Garrett Weitzen, fresh tires. Oh, a little bit of a contact. They touch, and they bang. But unfortunately, they are not going to wreck out. I just say, fortunately, I'm sorry. As Alif, once again, sends it on the outside. Whoa! Cale Davidson, side by side. They bang doors. Oh! They make contact. Oh, Marlo Duncan has unfortunately hit the wall. Wait a second. Ryan, what happened? You were battling with them.
I don't think I made any contact with him. I think Marlo Duncan might have made contact with Fiore, but I don't know that for a fact.
No,
so
I'm
not
just
going to
watching
comment
it
on
now. I think he just got loose on the high side. He was trying to make a reaction. Yeah,
Well,
let's watch it
right here.
here.
Ricky, walk us through.
Definitely a reactionary move to see in this contact up front. You see,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
looks a little bit reactionary to me, if I'm honest. Either that or he was tire. And we, do we have tire info on him? We are checking. Yeah. Those tires needed to go. 58 laps on those tires. Listen, if you burn the right front on this thing, there's no chance that you're going to be able to bring it to the end. But this is huge. Everyone can make it to the end from this from this pit stop right here. So this is going to be the money stop for everyone here.
Let's see who's going to be in and out of their pits the quickest.
Oh, contact entering pit road.
Yeah, it looked like a Leaf made contact with Wyatt Byrne on the back when they were going into pit lane. But folks, who was the biggest loser on all of this? I'm gonna have to say Garrett Weitzen. He was gaining up so much ground. He made the pass on Cale Davidson. Cale Davidson sending it up. He was not happy with that. They touched doors. As right now, with that beautiful shot of the pit lane exit, let's see who's going to be in and out.
Only 4 tires and fuel. Wyatt Byrne 4.2. What a stop. Oh, 7.9 updated. There we go. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, and it looks like Garrett Weitzen loses 3 spots as he lost a spot to Cale Davidson. So Cale able to get back his position before the pit lane during that pit lane stop. But Alex Fernetti, he's our current leader. I believe he's going to pit for tires. He's currently been out for 68 laps. So it looks like, unfortunately, it was a lap 94 incident by the stewards. Self-spin without additional contact, no further action. Now, Ryan, I want to talk with you here. What is the mindset now? We are currently lap 96 out of 125. So that means when we go green, I believe, with 28 laps to go. What's the mentality here? Do you save tires? Do you try to save a little bit, or just go balls out?
I think you got to go, man. It can take. So, everything can change in an instant. You can go from 5th to 10th in one lap. You can go from 5th to 1st in a lap. So I think you just got to capitalize on every run you make, but without making a mistake. I mean, these cars are so fast and the netcode is so unpredictable that any move you make needs to be calculated. I mean, we've seen several instances of the high line working in 1 and 2, but that's only if your car is handling good. I think as the tires wore out more, we might not see it during this run. But as the tires wore out more, I was liking the low line. I was able to get to the bottom pretty easily and just shorten the distance. So we'll see how this plays out for these last few laps. I hope it goes green because it's going to be awesome to watch if it does.
This race is going to be a sprint all the way to the end. I mean, it's going to be action after action. Hey, listen, the greatest producer of FC ever is asking a really important question, Edward. Who's going to win this race?
Well, I want to say a funny thing that was said in chat by Sky Shrek. Wyatt Burton fenced him, send him to Louisiana. So a lot of support for Wyatt Burton. And unfortunately, it looks like we are not going green this time around. It is so exciting to just get going. I mean, but let's highlight Aiken Lamar, who is currently P16 now. Unfortunately, I believe he is currently on the lead lap. I believe,
Aiken's
yes.
got damage. Aiken's got damage. You can pretty much assume everyone after P10 has damage because that dirty air back there, they were just smacking the wall. And listen, one of the beauties about being able to make the schedule is being able to take us to different ovals, right? We go to different road courses, and Laguna Seca is not the same road course as Long Beach or as Barber or anything else like that, right? This oval is extremely different from the other ovals that we went to. The oval that Aiken Lamar won, which was Iowa. We've gone to Nashville. Nashville was an entirely different oval, and I think the beauty of being able to craft a schedule like this gives us the opportunity to see, hey, some drivers that we haven't seen up front are up front in the top 10. Listen, Wyatt Burton's a top 10 driver, but Wyatt Burton hasn't led many laps this year. This is a huge race for him.
Of course. Ryan, quickly, what you want to say?
Alex Finnerty is going to be leading us coming to the restart. I'm not sure what strategy he's on. Let's
Okay, so
this is going to be interesting.
With 29 lap old tires, I think a Leaf might use this as an opportunity to get by Burton.
Well, let me be honest, and I said this at the last caution. Those people that pitted at the last caution, if they were saving both tires and fuel, I don't think they're going to win this race, but they might have a chance to stay up front. Passing is difficult here. Passing is difficult here. And so, I mean, this is basically a Talladega for IndyCar from what we've seen tonight. Anything can happen. Keep your eyes peeled to the screen.
Anything can and will happen. Jim Poff in the chat. Checkers are records, boys. And Wyatt, great so far, rookie. We're going to go in and it's gonna be lights out, and it's green flag, and it's gonna be Alex Frenny. He's gonna take the lead, and down into turn 1. Wyatt Burton behind him, Elite behind him, and Elite knows if he can get by Burton, he's gonna get by. But Alex Frenetti, he's already being under the attack. Wyatt Burton is gonna make quick work out of him with those fresh Firestone tires. He's looking on the outside, down into turn 3, side by side. Elite also on his track. A little bit of a whip go.
There's
I don't
contact.
think that was contact.
That was
I
some
don't-
of that net
you
code. I
think
saw the
so?
smoke. Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
And look
There
at
goes
that.
Fennerty.
He's
He took the
wrecking.
inside.
He's wrecking into the pits. Oh,
Oh
my
no!
God.
He's gonna go back up the track.
Inside. Caution's out. Caution's
No.
out. Caution's
Caution's
out.
out. Caution's out. And thankfully, no one has wrecked in front of behind them. Oh, the humanity. That would have been the sport ender, Ricky. You saw that Alex Trinity. He ate a little bit of the grass. He hit. I know that the broadcast we kind of missed it there a little bit, but Alex took the inside and he cut that grass. Wow.
Listen, one of my favorite quotes ever. You need tires, you idiot. And I think we just saw right there why.
Yeah.
We saw exactly right there as
Look.
we see. Let me pull up my monitor is being a little freak here.
Oh.
But let's have Edward call this incident for you.
I mean, yeah, it all started with, if we can go back a little further back. So out of turn 4, Alex needing to hold on to the inside, and he clips it right there. Ate a little bit of the grass. The car just starts getting loose, and all you could do is just hit it on the inside, and he goes back up the track. Unfortunately, he has no power. He's just alone for the ride and along for the ride, and unfortunately. That was a sport ender there for UNC Charlotte. Alex Frenetti, unfortunately, out of this race, lap 90, I believe 100, lap 100, yeah. So Lucas Moody.
Hey, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let me tell you who the winner of that incident is. Lucas Moody, our in-race reporter / crazy person, just texted. Props to the GOAT Alan Hong for
Hong,
dodging that incident. So, real winner in that situation.
Yeah, so far I want to mention for your weekly Alan Hong update, and maybe your last, but Alan Hong for St. Clair College, for now, he is up to P12. So I usually call him off as a weekly Alan Hong update, but for now, since he's still in the race, the weekly update is still alive. So we'll see what happens later tonight. And Aiken Lamar into the pits. He got fresh tires, but I wanted to focus on something, Ricky. I know we were focusing on the battle. We know that Bird was going to make quick work of Alex Trinity, but Alif was not able to capitalize on it. But Garrett Vighton, he's up into P3. Now, I wanted to note that he was our productions pick, and definitely something to note. Him and Cale Davidson right now, they are in hot water. I know for a fact that they are not going to race each other nicely in these last 20 laps. The caution before this, they were throwing in slide jobs up to each other. I mean, Ricky, when you're pissed off and you're angry at somebody and they're right in front of you, how does that make you feel? And then I'll pose this question to Ricky, to Ryan after.
Listen, you know, I've got emotions. I'm a human being, and this season I've not in this series, but you know, in my past I've made some bad decisions, and I think that this is the reason we have such a great race control staff is we see people make bad decisions all the time. Now, let me tell you, people like the likes of Cale Davidson and R. Muhammad Alif and Ryan Whitlock, these people do not make bad decisions. They are cold-blooded
Are you
all
sure?
the time, and they can
Are you
make.
sure?
Hey, well, I won't speak for Ryan Whitlock, but listen, Kale, a little
He
bit
did
about
lose 5
Kale.
positions in that one restart. Yikes!
And let me tell you, Cal works around you know, real life racing and real life IndyCar. He knows these cars like the back of his hand. I would not count him out, despite all of the emotions. But let me tell you let me tell you about someone who I'm really proud of tonight. Lee Kane, lead lap. He was just having some pit stop issues. Sounds like the fuel gun in the pit box wasn't working, and then it filled all of his fuel. So that thing is filled to the brim. He is not going to run out, folks. But let me tell you, a lead lap finish for Lee Kane here is a huge win. One of the new rookies, one of the new up and coming stars in our sport. We're happy to have him, and yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of him.
So yeah, go ahead, Ricky. I wanted to give you the honor as our FC director. Highlight us for now. our CIL rookies, our FC rookies, I mean, these drivers, I've never known them, and now you better do. So go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, let me tell you, two other ones that are on my radar for rookies of the year. Dylan Beatty and Nick Henley, P8, P9, those two BSU academy drivers have been making a name for themselves this year. Hey, listen, when you got a teacher like a Leaf, you better be getting P8s and P9s, or else you might as well park it.
Yep.
But let me tell
Isn't
you,
Wyatt Burton a rookie? Am I
Burton,
mistaken?
I was getting there. Wyatt Burton, the rookie of the night, the rookie of the year, most likely. Let me tell you, this guy means business. Listen, chat saying Wyatt great so far. What a good rookie. Let me tell you, we are very, very proud. But hey, Muhammad Ali, Garrett Vighton, Cal Davidson, I mean, maybe even Ryan Whitlock, I don't know. These guys are not rookies, and they do not play
actually,
nice this late in the season.
This
But
is actually my first full season of FC. Fun fact.
Ryan Whitlock will tell you, we are all rookies in this car, all right?
I literally haven't
We've
run a full
learned-
season of FC before this
We've
season.
learned
Alright,
this
well-
season.
Well, hold on. Let's get focused here,
All
folks. 'Cause
right.
We're gonna get racing. Ryan, make sure you don't start on second gear. Don't fumble another restart.
Hey, map 1, buddy. Map 1.
I
One.
literally just did that.
Reset your
Ricky,
tools.
Pace car is off.
Hey,
Lights
pace
are
car's in. Anytime the pace car's in, we're waiting on Wyatt Burton. And he's going green. He's got a big jump, 2 car length. But let me tell you, in turn 2, and going down the back stretch, that gap is going to disappear. So it's starting to disappear already. Pretty single file, pretty chill for right now, as we can see. But here we go on the backstretch. That drop starts to take effect. As you can see, closing up right behind them is almost a battle for P3. We've got Vighton, and we've got, is that Kale, if I'm not mistaken,
Kale,
back
that is
there?
Kale.
Yeah. And here we go. Here's that run. Here we see a side by side going to turn 1. Take it, Edward.
Once again, it's rinse and repeat. It's the same song, old verse, as it looks like Wyatt Burton. He got a little bit of off wide there. He's gonna look into the inside. He's gonna defend the inside. A Leaf trying to make a move and down to the bottom. But it's like you said, out of turn 2, it's the momentum. But Burton unfortunately got a little bit wide. But Garrett Vighton, he's down in the mix. He's gonna send it into the inside potentially, as he's gonna sneak in there. Perhaps he's gonna have to hold up to the inside once again. But look at behind Garrett is Cale Davidson. Now Cale, he's gonna they contact up to the wall, but they don't. As Cale Davidson trying to get a little bit of that slipstream behind the Leaf. A Leaf now going to the outside. He has a good run, side by side, out of turn 4, down into the front stretch. Garrett Vighton, he's there too. But Cale Davidson, he's gonna send it on to the inside. 2 by 2, and by 1, it's Ryan Whitlock behind him. But once again, a Leaf with the good run. Oh, and Wyatt has to go to the bottom again, but that's going to sacrifice a lot of speed down into turn 3. Ricky, who is going to win this one? Oh, my.
I'll tell you what, unless a Leaf can get to the bottom in 3 and 4, there's no chance he gets past him. Look, a new contender. Is that Clint Halterman? We've got 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, 7 cars.
Ricky, you think this is like caution. You think we're just pacing, but we're going racing.
Oh, that's it for Kale. Garrett's going to lose this position to Kale on the inside. Yep, there you see. You just have no reason to concede. Oh, my God. Clint almost just tried to send it. Garrett cut that off real quick. He said, no, sir.
I hit the brakes. That scared me, fellas.
Entering to turn 1. Ryan already changed his pants. He's going to have to change his pants again. I mean.
But look who's there. But Fury, he's up in the mix right now. P6 makes the pass on Ryan Whitlock. Whitlock, you gotta change it up here, because you've only got a few laps left. 15 laps to go as the leader takes the line. And Cale Davidson sending it in 3 wide. Oh, he got contact. This is the time.
It's fighting.
Yellow is out, and Garrett Vighton is done for the day.
Yellow is out. Yellow is out. We lost Clint and we lost Fighting in there. We're gonna need a replay on that. That was insane.
So it looked like, from my super duper high definition binoculars, Clint Halterman made a little tag with Garrett Vighton in the tri-oval. Now, I don't think Clint got too much damage. It was his right front wing. But when Garrett got hit, it looked like Clint went through the grass, and then when Garrett made it to turn 1, the moment he started turning, it looked as if the left rear was done. The tire was done, and he spun it around. As we see here, Ricky, explain here what happened.
Yeah, it's just racing 3 wide at the line. There's not enough space. And not really sure where Garrett came. I want to see if we can get an onboard with Garrett or maybe a
I
second
think Clint-
camera.
I think on board with Clint would be favorable, as he did make the contact into.
Here we go. Yeah, just not enough room for 3 wide there. Garrett gets spun off of that contact. Clint, that's going to be at least a front wing change. Luckily, the game said, hey, you can have your tire back. We'll let you have it back for this one time and one time only for a low, low price of whatever your racing subscription is. By the way, 25% off iRacing subscriptions for returning members through December 2nd. And new members, if you're interested, like who was it? Someone in the chat asking if this is iRacing. Listen, if you're interested and you're in college and you want to join us in the CIL, 50% off new members on iRacing.com right now. Check it out. So yeah, hopefully these guys get released from the AMR safety team. Looks like we might be able to continue.
Once again, that is iRacing.com/membership. Please do hit that link below and join us on our Discord when you join in and start your iRacing career. And speaking of starting your iRacing career, Alif is trying to start and get this going. He is just pouncing or getting ready to pounce
Honestly,
on Mr. Excitement up front. But Ryan, you want to say something?
honestly, guys, I don't know if Alif is going to win this race. I think just with how well Wyatt Burton is defending, Alif is going to have to do some crazy stuff to get by him. And truth be told, I think that's going to result in contact. That might
There's
be part...
absolutely going to be contact.
I mean, I've been losing spots on restarts, but it's because these guys in front of me, these cars are fragile. And if these guys clean each other out and I avoid the wreck, that's an easy win. So I think they will, and I hope I avoid it.
Yeah, production's asking us if we think they're going to take each other out. Listen, Alif, he's a hard driver, but he's typically a clean driver. But here's the thing. Alif, he's still a stranger to ovals, I think, especially in the open wheel car. Alif is more of a Formula 1 guy, Formula 4 kind of guy. And listen, Alif, he's, as some of our guys in here can attest to, he's seen some success in CIL ovals as of late. He's been putting in the work, especially at Darlington, with that huge, huge win for him in the playoffs. But listen, this is a different beast. If you don't have the wherewithal to know where you are at every single time on this track, if you put a fender wrong, not only are you dead, not only is Wyatt dead, but so is Kale, so is Ben. And listen, Ryan wants to miss it, but he might have jinxed himself. He's a commentator's curse up here, so...
That's true. I can commentator's curse myself. But, I mean, I think Alif is a very patient driver, very smart about his moves, because he's quick enough to be so. But, we've done 115 laps, and there's only 125. So I think no matter how patient of a driver you are, your patience is going to run out eventually.
Yeah, it does look like we will go green with 11 or 10 to go. Can you confirm on that, Ryan?
That will be 10 to go. It'll be 10 to go next. I believe when we take the green, it'll be 10 to go.
Listen, if IndyCar is very interesting because as you guys see in the Cup Series on Monday nights, we have one overtime. Here, the scheduled distance is the end. We don't have red flags. We don't have overtimes. We don't have lucky dogs or anything like that. Anything
and we don't
crazy.
have playoffs. We have points.
Yeah.
Also,
Marlo Duncan back on track. What a good... Hey, we just need a good finish for Marlo. He has a good night. Listen, P17, I know you're going to hang your head on that for a little bit, but Marlo, don't take it personal, man. These cars and these types of tracks, they are not nice. And for your rookie season, man, P17, to finish above some of the greats, like that Ricky Paz guy back there and Lucas Moody. Listen, you're doing great, so congrats there, buddy.
And speaking of greatness, our viewers are amazing. We just gained 2 subscribers, so we're currently at 485 subscribers. That means we are 15 away, folks. And speaking of 15 away, we're 10 laps to go, which means better get those phones out, subscribe, be the 500 subscriber. And Ricky, will be honored to take this one away. Potentially, hopefully, this will be the last restart to call. But Wyatt Burton really trying to put some heat in those tires, as well as Alif. I mean, I've watched every restart so far, and Wyatt Burton and Alif, they both just start scrubbing the tires as much as they can before going to turn 3 every single time. It's just so much psychological warfare and thinking. So
Listen,
we'll
the
see
struggle
what
here
happens.
before we go
Huh?
green. If we get another caution and it happens after, within 7 to go, 6 to go, we're in danger of having a 1 or 0 lap shootout. So if there's going to be
All
a
right.
caution, it might have to be right here.
Well, speaking of one more to go, we got an extra subscriber. So let's hopefully think that's a good look as Wyatt Byrne. He's going to take the green flag, and it's going to be 10 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Wyatt Burton with a great launch, and he's going to be able to school the field. He was able to gap a really good against Alif, but Alif not giving up yet. But Alif is now under the attack of Cale Davidson, as Cale is going to go to the top, but Alif trying to get that nice slipstream on the bottom. As Ricky, you said it, out of turn 2, it's all about that slipstream. And he's got a good run out of turn 4, side by side, down the front straightaway, as it looks like it's going to be Cale on the outside. Oh, and they make contact! No, they don't! The leaders are out! The leaders are out of this race. Alif, and it looks like it's going to be an unfortunate night as Wyatt Burton and our Muhammad Alif has made contact into turn 1. The leaders are out of the race. What a tragedy. What a tragedy. That's not how it should have ended right there, Ricky. Come on. Let's look a replay here, and Ricky, I'm gonna take this one because I know how personal and emotional this could be for you as a team owner. Let's see here as the broadcast is gonna take it up, and I'm gonna keep stalling right here. All right, here we go. Out of turn 4, we saw that they were going side by side. Alif had a great run on the outside. Cale was catching up, but I don't know what happened here, but it looked like Alif just came down, and he does. He cleans himself across Wyatt Burton, and inevitably has ended both of their races. Their races are done.
Yeah, I think Alif lucked out. I think Alif will continue because that car might be fine. But, dude, he lost a lot of track position. Here's the thing that bums me out. These are two really, really good drivers. Burton really gets the short end of the stick here. It's unfortunate because if you're in Alif's position, in order to make that pass down outside of turn 2, you really have to pinch down on the bottom. I think this time Alif just made a mistake, a very rare mistake for our championship leader.
And we'll see what the stewards booth thinks of that.
Yep. Well,
I don't
good
know
thing,
what.
Ryan.
I mean,
you
I
should
had a
put it
front
back.
row seat, but I
do you
was
think?
too busy trying. I had a front row seat, but I was too busy trying to avoid it. So we will see what our stewards booth thinks.
Well, unfortunately that happened, but fortunately we just got another subscriber. We're now 487, so as the clock is ticking in this race, it looks like we are getting more and more. But it looks like right now stewards are still reviewing the situation, and honestly, from my super duper high definition binoculars, it looks like Alif just came down. He thought that Wyatt Burton was going to take a lower entry into turn 1 and pinch him. As you said, Ricky, try to pinch him through 1 and 2 to maybe get a better exit out of 2. And I mean, Ricky, you kind of called it, right? You said Alif was going to get desperate towards the end. And, oh no, I think it was Ryan. Ryan, you called it, didn't you?
I sure did. I mean, I said even patient drivers run out of patience eventually, and we just watched it.
I think here's the real bummer, and as other than losing Wyatt Burton, that was really going to be a good end of the race. Here's the great news out of all this: we are going to have a very, very short run to the end. It's not going to be quite a one-lap shootout, but we are going to have at least 2 or 3. I got a couple comments I want to respond to. Jim Pop is saying fire Leaf over here. So I don't know if he's a huge Leaf fan, but I would guess that he's not. Alif is in the pits. Alif's probably going to take a new set of Firestone tires here. Listen, Cheryl Burton is commenting to Edward here. That's not how it should have ended, and I agree. It's very, very shameful. But listen, these drivers make mistakes. We, as drivers, get so tunnel vision here, and this is a very, very rare mistake for the BSU team. But we could possibly have a new winner tonight. Look who's in P2.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ben Fiore in P2 and Dylan Beatty, one of our CIL rookies. He is looking to make a mark. He wants to perhaps show it off to Kale.
The
Because
entirety
think
of the
about it.
top 8. The entirety of the top 8
Yeah,
has
Ryan?
not won a race this season.
Ooh, and that means everyone is going to be even more
We
hungry for
basically
a
have a
win.
guaranteed new winner today.
Woo!
Has Kale not won?
Kale has won last semester in the FC Super Formula, but not
But
this
this
semester.
Not
season,
in the
yep.
IndyCar era.
Not in
Okay,
the
had a
yeah.
IndyCar
new
era.
win.
So we
Hey,
are looking at this is gonna be like a Daytona, August Daytona finish, Ricky.
Yeah, let me tell you, here's the good thing. We have no Joey Logano to spoil it. Hey.
Amen.
Amen, amen.
Hey, listen, Cool Breeze 0988 says, I blame SMI. They should have never reprofiled turn 1. Listen, I usually don't like to get controversial with chat, but listen here, Cool Breeze. Turn 1 and 2 have given us some great racing tonight. So I think we're going to see some great racing here on the restart as well.
Although I will defend our chat, Ricky, and say that this does not have Texas host PJ1.
Well, it's going to be very interesting as Logan McKim says, what place is Adrian Tibigovic? And I believe he is currently, he is 8th. So this could be one of his best finishing positions. Honestly, a lot of this top 10, it's just unbelievable. It's like you said, Ricky and Ryan, they're all new winner potentially tonight, hopefully. And potentially we finish under green as pace car lights are off. Let's go through it right now. Cale Davidson, P1, Ben Fiore, P2, Dylan Beatty, P3, Ryan Whitlock, P4, and Cohen Evans in P5. And honorable shout out, Nick Henley, P6, Jay Cummings, P7, Adrian Tibigo, and P8, Claire Halterman, P9, Aiken Lamar, and P10. So Aiken Lamar, he could not, he could still be in this, Ricky, as the
Hey,
pace
Lee
car
Kane.
lights.
Lee Kane P11 and R. Muhammad Ali P12. Everyone outside of that does not have a shot at this race win. Alif given the black flag, drive through strike 1 for that
Well,
car. So Alif is
Ricky-
not going to win. And we're going green. Oh, what a jump by P3 there, getting to the outside.
It looks like it's going to be a straightforward launch for Wyatt. Sorry. Well, I don't know why I was thinking Wyatt Byrne. Cale Davidson, he's in P1, but Dylan Beatty on the inside of Maris. Ben Fiore, like I said, Dylan Beatty, he was nervous on the face cam, but he wants this win right now. We are currently locked in with him as it's only going to be 3 laps to go this time around. 3 laps to go, folks, here at Texas Motor Speedway, round 12. If this is not impressive, I don't know what else is. As Dylan Beatty trying to hold on, but that dirty air is affecting him. Cale Davidson now out in the open. Oh, look, where is he? Ryan Whitlock up into P3. We don't see him often. What happened? He woke up and decided to choose violence as up into top 3. Cale pulled up out to the outside. Ben Fiore is in the lead. We have a new leader. Oh, he hit the grass, but he's gonna keep it out to the inside, and it's gonna be maybe. Oh no, Cale Davidson on the outside. He's gonna have to hold off and be able to get into the lead once again. But Ryan Whitlock
get to the bottom here.
Oh no, Ricky, what do you do in this situation? What do you do?
Listen, you gotta do everything you can, because if you let that bottom go in 3 and 4, you might as well say sayonara. You're not as done.
1 lap to go here at CIO FC. Side by side, 2 by 2 by 2. It's gonna be maybe a new winner. Cale Davidson out of turn 2. Ryan Whitlock, he has one more shot. Down into turn 3. He's gonna send it in. He's gonna try and maybe make a move. The last lap move. Side by side. 3 wide to the 3 wide. It's at the line. Oh no! It's Cale Davidson. Oh man! 3 to the line, side by side by side. It's gonna be Cale Davidson to the line. We're gonna get a quick replay, folks, to relive that moment. But unfortunately for Ryan Whitlock, who is in this booth right here, I just know the anguish. P2. Let's get the replay right here, folks. Side to the line. I mean, it was incredible. Look at this. So this is now 1 to go. We are currently last lap of the race. As we saw Ryan Whitlock take that outside line into turn 1 out of 2. He had the run. And of course, he got in front and he's able to get that nice slipstream behind. It was Cale Davidson. And at this point, he just gassed it all the way around the outside out of 4. He got a good run to the line and unfortunately just misses out. I believe, Ricky, by 1/1500th of a second as Cale Davidson takes the win and Ryan Whitlock runner up with Ben Fiore in the middle. He's going to finish out in P3 by less than 400th of a second. The difference between top three, 400th of a second. Ryan, I know we don't have the interviews up yet, but as a commentator, how do you feel? I mean,
I
wow.
mean, truth be told, this will be. I guess this isn't my interview, but I mean, I didn't lift. Yeah, sure. I mean,
Go ahead. Let's do the interview right now. Go ahead, Kale. I
I
mean,
didn't
Ryan.
lift. Let me
Yeah.
check my own replay here. I did not lift. I had the run. I knew Kale was going to block the inside. I think only thing I really could have done is stayed lower to try to prevent Ben Fiore from trying to sneak in there. But I mean, what a finish! What a finish! And I'm really not that disappointed in myself because I did not lift and I did what I could. I think ultimately, even if I did stay lower to try to block Ben Fiore, he might have turned me and I wouldn't have gotten P2. So yeah, I mean, I just gotta shout out Kale too. What a race! I'm certainly gonna text him after this, but oh my gosh, I think I finally didn't get net coded out of a race. That was so fun. That was just
I got netcoded out of a race in your honor. Okay,
that was such a good race.
listen,
Ricky, what's your question to Ryan?
listen, Ryan. We know that you are no stranger to road racing as the director of our CSC, our Tin Top series, whatever you want to call it. Listen, you've done a lot of good work over there, and that's been an absolute blast. But let me ask you, how much of that has translated into your IndyCar love and your IndyCar, skills?
Well, I mean, IMSA and IndyCar are my two favorite real life motorsports. So being such an avid fan of both of those, I think you learn some things watching the real pros do the real thing. And I think it's shown. I feel like I've been pretty consistent across all track types throughout FC, netcode notwithstanding. And I think I've been consistent throughout every round of the Collegiate Sports Car Challenge. My NASCAR Cup car pace still leaves a little bit to be desired, but man, just I pulled so hard for us to run the IndyCar in this FC series, and I think it has absolutely paid off. I think this has been some of the best racing we have seen out of our open wheel series. I think despite the fact that it's majority road, the ovals have delivered a lot of excitement and surprise winners. I mean, I'm just thrilled that this season has gone so well and that race was so darn fun.
Well, Ryan, that's what people are saying in the chat. Jim Pop says, "Can we repeat Texas? A great race, good job." And yes, of course.
Well,
Hopefully, we get more of this action.
I might say, I mean, you've got the FC director in here, and I guess
Yeah.
I know I help Ricky make decisions a lot. So, Ricky, is Texas going to be on the schedule next season?
Hey,
Early,
listen.
yeah.
I mentioned
The people want the truth.
I mentioned a lot of things about how we make our schedule around here, right? If this is an oval that can provide this type of racing, I can guarantee you it will be on our schedule in the future.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep.
Fresh off the press.
That was
Texas
so
is
good.
back, baby. All right, Ryan, give us your quick shout out before we move on.
Yeah, shout outs. Well, I mean, I guess I get to ask interviews here after this. Shout outs are to Kale for that great racing. I'm certainly going to talk to him after this because that was a ton of fun. Shout out the rest of the commentary crew. Shout out to our stewards room. It's really hard to do this job, unpaid, frequently thankless. I got to shout out Charger Motorsports. We're not just a sim racing team, we're a real racing team as well, dipping our toes into autocross more and more. I mean, just lots of people I got to thank. And I don't know what else to say. That was, you can see the smile on my face, even though I lost the race.
Well, congrats, Ryan, and not gonna say good luck and see you in the next time because you're gonna be up here in the booth asking questions. So that is our second place runner-up finish, Ryan Whitlock. Whitlock, welcome back to the booth as a commentator.
Hey,
Man, oh
long time no
man,
see, buddy.
long time no see. We just heard that Ryan Whitlock fella just finished second. Sucks to be him, but anyways, Ryan, we're gonna bring up Kale Davidson, our race winner of tonight,
Oh,
Ball
let me
State's
ask these
winner.
questions. Let me ask these
Exactly.
questions.
So, Whitlock, let's take it away with you first.
All right, Kale. You son of a gun. No, I'm kidding. Tell me about that finish. Tell me about
Oh
that
my-
race, man. I don't know about you, but I'm smiling from ear to ear
Dude,
just from how fun that race was.
That was a blast. Did you already tell them about how we were texting before this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dude. And it was like, I went across the line, and I'm very happy Ben sent it in there 3 wide too. But it was like there was no one else I'd rather like be battling that hard for when we're already in that tight of a championship battle. Like hundreds of seconds going to the line. So that was fun. I loved it.
Yeah, so I mean, tell me about how the whole race sort of played out for you. Kind of earlier on, you and I were both always in that top 10, top 5 conversation. Kind of what pushed you to obviously you inherited the lead, but what pushed you hard to keep it like you did?
Yeah, kind of like the first part of the stint, like the first stint of the race, I really destroyed the tires. So from there on, I kind of changed game plan. I kind of did some stuff with roll bars, made the car not tear up the right side, and then I started using that top line. And once I figured out that top line, and even with you, there was points where we were going around Garrett. You were on the middle line, Garrett was on the inside, and just that outside line was so superior towards the end, and it didn't destroy the tires. So I knew if I could just keep taking that outside line, that it'd be good to go all the way there. But then once I kind of inherited the lead, I was honestly pretty scared because with these, when you're in the clean air, you don't really need to like lift as much or like worry about your line. You can almost just go flat out the whole lap. And I did not do that the entire race. So going into that like last 3 lap shootout, I was just praying that the car would not step out on me.
Dale,
Yeah.
this is your first win in FC this season. I don't think that it's a surprise to see you up here. It's actually a joy for all of us, especially me as the director. Let me ask you, what motivates you every week, especially when you're in a team with one of the best drivers that we've ever seen in the CILFC series?
Um, I don't know. I mean, like a leaf definitely pushes you to motivate you, but he's so fast that you almost like kind of don't push yourself to the limit there. But then when you kind of have a car that you know you can compete at, and it's especially when it's like a track like this where it's very draft heavy, it's more of pick your cards and play them how you want to like play them down. And I mean, technically that's kind of how this whole race went. And I went in with the mindset of, oh, let's just finish the race today because out of the 3 ovals we've raced on, or 3 ovals I've raced on, I've crashed out of 2 of them. So the fact that my first oval finish is a first place, I guess I'll take that.
Listen, I don't know what happened at Nashville. You and I definitely did not get in any incidents, but I'm very, very happy to see you up here. Hey, you got any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out our whole esports program. So especially Dylan, best finish from him. I was really hoping he'd be a P3. Dylan did a phenomenal job, and also Nick as well. And then shout out to Alif and Lucas, and then our esports director Dan and BK, and then shout out my mom, my dad, my grandma and grandpa, and then Indy Hood Rats and Miller Farms for sponsoring the car.
Well, thank you, Kel. Congratulations on your first win in the CILFC and potentially for our last stream. So proud to see you up here. Congrats and good luck in the next race.
Thank you.
That was our race winner, and we're gonna move on to our third place finisher, and that is Ben Fiore of Marist College. I'm gonna bring him up into the booth. Ben Fiore, sorry for taking you mid conversation. I think you're having a lovely conversation with Clint and Dale. Dale Kavitz. Yeah, I got Dale Kavitz sitting
The
right
alter ego,
behind.
love it.
Yeah. So Ben Fiore, tell me, man, you were going in and out of battles last minute.
Appreciate it.
You're just there for the end. How does it feel throughout that race?
Well, I don't know if my cam's up on the stream or not, but I just took my wheel off because, my good lord, that was the craziest 125 laps of my life. There, that was. I'm speechless over that.
Yeah, our
So,
production
c-
booth says that he hasn't stopped smiling for a couple minutes here. So how's your
Oh.
face feeling with all those smiles, buddy?
It might need my face massage afterwards and a nice little ice pack or something. But I was like, I couldn't believe we were going that hard at 200 plus miles an hour for that many laps, and just we were holding it clean for the most part. We were pretty clean up at the front and just trading spots, kind of hanging on, keeping at least the cars that made to the end. A good shot at the end, and that last 5 laps, I went to the lead. I'm like, holy crap, I'm in the lead of the race. I'm like, whoever wrote the script on this is going crazy right now because this is insane. But I mean, the only thing I'm mad about is I didn't win the race, but at the same time, that was an FC battle to remember. That was absolutely incredible.
Most definitely, Ben. Hey, let me tell you this. Part of the good thing about having a driver's broadcast with Ryan and I here is that we get to compete against you every week. I'll tell you from racing around you, you are one of the cleanest and one of the most fun and electrifying drivers to run around every single week. What about this week and this track made you so competitive?
I mean, it's pretty much the fact that there were no right turns. Because if there were more right turns, I think a certain number 12 car would be well ahead at the front of the field.
Oh,
But No, that's not shots fired. It's the fact that he's a better driver than me. I'm taking shots at myself, honestly, if anything. But,
Fair enough.
anyways, the fact we were at an oval, and I gotta say, from where we started, or at least this Marist College Honda, shout out Honda, love the boys of the factory. Um, you know, from where we were at Nashville, qualifying 23rd and slowly finding the pace. Was better at Indy, had a couple bottle jobs, but I got a good finish, and then rode really well at Iowa. I was coming into this race thinking get a decent qualifying position, avoid the tomfoolery at the front, and just give yourself a shot at the end. And they came to a good hold at the end. Fighting Kale or Dale as we call him now, fighting him and Ryan at the front. And like I said, I was just speechless the whole way through and smiling because it's not very often you get a battle like that, and it's not very often for me that I'm fighting for the win. In any of these series, sports car, cup, or this Formula College. So it's just really good battle, really good racing. Shout out to both Ball State and Alabama Huntsville, Ryan and Kale. That was proper awesome stuff there.
I was
man,
gonna
that was a
say.
ton of fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna
proper
quickly
mega.
say before we let you go, give us a quick shout out if that was it. But if you want to give a little bit more shout out before we let you go.
Yeah, gotta give a shout out to all the folks that make this happen. First and foremost to O'Connor Motorsports, the team that I've run with, Riley, Devin, Aiken, or Mr. Iowa winner, Aiken Lamar, who's been helping me a lot on the ovals for both Cup and Formula College. It's crazy, he's the ones who coached me a lot through this. So a big shout out to him on the oval side. Got to give a shout out, to my mom and dad, for supporting me through this stuff. They have been a fan of me running sometimes three nights a week, with Cup and all the 3 series. But when you get to put a good result out like this, represents Marist College and represents, the Red Foxes, it's an awesome feeling. So big shout out to them. And of course, Red Fox faithful, AJ, over at our esports departments. He supported me back, last year a little bit. And while we're not official yet, it's just great to be able to show ourselves off in front of the great esports talent that we have up here in the great state of New York for Poughkeepsie. So that's all my shout outs.
New York mention and Ben, that takes the cake for the longest shout out segment ever. Congratulations for the last CIFC stream possibly. Thank you so much. Good luck in the next race next week.
Appreciate that, word. Thanks, every guys. Roll Foxes,
right.
baby.
Go Foxes. Well, Ryan, I'm sorry that I cut you off earlier, but I wanted to give you a special one right here. Please introduce Clint Halterman, your alumni winner tonight. And I know you guys always end up tangling up on the racetrack, so a fitting end for this stream. Go ahead, take it away, Ryan.
All right, Mr. Clint Halterman, our alumni winner. Tell us about your race there, buddy. I was duking it out with you for a little bit. Unfortunately, it seems like a little bit of contact and front end damage got you farther back in the pack. But how did your race go to get back up to that alumni win?
Yeah, I was having a good time. I felt really quick. I spent a lot of it just kind of behind Burton and a Leaf. Couldn't really go anywhere though, because when they went side by side, it was like 2 semi trucks on the freeway, and they're going the exact same speed. Couldn't go anywhere. But yeah, we had that caution come out with about 60 to go, and I know I pitted, and I think you and a couple other guys pitted, so I dropped from 3rd to 9th there, and I thought that was the correct strategy. I was saving gas crazy, and I was going to be really close, and I don't know how close y'all were to having to pit, but when that final caution came up, or not final caution, but that caution came up about 30 to go. So that kind of screwed me up, because at that point my tires were going to be cooked. There was no way I was going to be able to hang on, so I just needed to come down to pit, and I started making my way back up towards the front, and I got chopped twice. In the second time, broke my front wing. So that was cool. So I had to pull some maneuvers because I made a lot of moves to the outside on the restarts to try and make up some spots. Got a couple spots, got blocked a couple more times. So, but yeah, I'll take the recovery drive to 8th, considering I think looking at the replay, I had 4 wheels off the ground in the tri-oval when I made contact there. So honestly, it was surprising I just broke my front wing. But yeah, the alumni win. I'll take it. I was hoping for better. I had better pace than that, but it is what it is.
Thank you so much. Ricky, you got a question?
Yeah, so Dude, you might be running away with this alumni championship. I'll tell you, we've talked before on stream. Clint and I were both running the bits of the IndyCar Road to Pro series. How much has that helped you prepare for things like this, especially because the focus over there was mostly on road courses and not on an oval like this?
Yeah, that's definitely been a help. The Indy cars on the road courses are definitely probably no, they are my favorite car on a road course for sure. So I'd always been. I know iRacing kind of expanded once they mended their relationship with IndyCar. They kind of expanded some of the official races, and there's a lot more IndyCar series on road courses and stuff like that. So, and then when that came out, I figured I had to give it a shot. I didn't have didn't have super great luck in that series, but I knew my pace on the road courses was going to be solid. Obviously, I've got nothing for relief and a lot of the Ball State cars some of the times, but and Ryan too. He's got me the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I knew my speed there was going to be pretty solid. I didn't know how my oval speed was. I used to do Indy cars and ovals a long time ago, right when I got into iRacing back in like 2014. But I hadn't done it in a long time, so I really wasn't sure how I was going to do on the ovals. I did do the Indy 500 this year for the first time, and I think practicing for that helped me figure out what to do in these cars, figure out the bar adjustments and how the weight checker stuff and how to kind of drive in dirty air. That's the hardest part, is having to. There's so much dirty air in these cars. It's hard to, that's really the biggest learning curve I think on the ovals, is managing that. But yeah, definitely the iRacing Pro Series for the road courses definitely was a big help. I think there was only 2 ovals. I know Indy. I think I made all the laps, and then Gateway I got wrecked out of that early, so didn't get too much practice on the ovals in that series. But definitely being in a super competitive nature of those races definitely helped my pace on the road courses.
Yeah, Clint. Well, let me tell you, it's very, very exciting. This was just announced on the broadcast for a little bit of a teaser. We will be coming back here next season, so hopefully this brings a smile to your face. Hopefully you can repeat next season. But hey, right before we let you go, does anyone you want to shout out there?
Yeah,
Certainly.
I wanna quickly shout out the Owner Tour Racing guys. Ryan got so close to the win. I was cheering for you there. That was a great finish from my perspective. Blah 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 blah. Shout out to y'all for putting on the broadcast tonight.
Thank you so much, Claire Halterman, and it's a pleasure for me to sign us off with you as our alumni winner. You're always dominating, as Ricky said. So, good luck in the next race. Good luck with the rest of the season, and enjoy that alumni win tonight.
All right, thank you guys.
Well, that was our alumni winner, Claire Halterman. Let's go through the results, and of course, we all know who won, and a crazy finish, and maybe someone we didn't expect is going to be Cale Davidson of Ball State University in P1. Now, I'm going to take the first 10, and then Ricky and Ryan, you guys split the next half. So, Cale Davidson in first, Ball State University. Ryan Whitlock, yours truly here in the booth.
So close.
University
So
of
close.
Alabama Huntsville. So close. 1500th of a second. So close, yet so far. In P2, Ben Fiore. P3 for Marist College. Dylan Beatty, CLFC rookie of Ball State. And P4, Cohen Evans. I said he was going to get through the field. P5 for Purdue. Jake Cummings for Commerce University in P6. Shout out to him in the comments. He says, thank you very much, Keith. Nick Henley in P7 for Ball State University. Alumni winner P8, Clint Halterman for UNC Charlotte. Aiken Lamar, our last oval winner. He's going to round the bout in P9 for Howard Community College. And in top 10, or last in the top 10, Adrian Tipagoic for St. Clair College in P10. Ricky.
Lee Kane in P11. Good finish for him. Great finish for a rookie. Nick Stockner brings it home P12, able to hold on with a pitch strategy that kind of put him down early. R. Muhammad Alif, after the drive-through and the penalty, finishes P13 behind Nick Stockner. Brandon Schulenberger, 3 laps down, definitely some damage. Marlo Duncan also had damage, as we know. Wyatt Burton, unfortunately, ended his race. finishes P16. Diamond, 9 laps down. Garrett Vighton in P18, 13 laps down. The GOAT, Alan Hong, the number 11 car from St. Clair College, 19th, 19 laps down. And 20th place, Alex Finnerty from that early helicopter crash.
At the back of our field, we had Jason Wallet, unfortunate night for him with high hopes in 21st. Andrew Voigt, 22nd, 58 laps down. Our very own esteemed panel member, Ricky Paz, not the night he wanted either in 23rd, nor the night Ethan Decatur wanted in 24th. Andrew Burrell and Andrew Williams, early contact in 25th and 26th. Lucas Moody, who joined us earlier in the booth as our pit lane post AMR safety team reporter, 27th, 83 laps down. And the last place, not a great night for number 82, 28th place, Troy Cammy.
And with that, folks, that was the result for the Fort Worth 125 laps. I'm so sorry, I forgot the last one. 187. Fort Worth 187. And, well, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, I would actually like to go on to our final scheduled segment of tonight's stream, and that's going to be the schedule. And for all time's sake, Sky Shrek, what are we going racing in the Cup on Monday? Sky, you're unmuted, but Sky, come on. Mic not plugged in. 1 second. Okay, well, folks, I'm going to introduce the Monday schedule. Sky will do next Wednesday. Next Monday, we are going to Bristol. It's Bristol, baby. Yes, you're right. I'm in the round of 8. I'm fighting for my first ever Final Four appearance for my first ever full-time CIL. This is technically my 3rd season, but my first full-time. Race 14, round 14 of the CIL Cup will be live next week, Monday, 8:30 p.m. If you already hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Because remember, folks, we just hit 489 subscribers, which means this was the most amount of subscribers in a CIL stream in history. So, Ricky, Ryan, welcome to history. It's going to be November 18th, and it's going to be the final round of the round of 8. It is the elimination round. So, folks, if you want to know who's going to be in the Final Four, the Championship 4 battle at Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time, next week is going to dictate what's going to happen. Sky, where are we going to go racing for FC next week?
Yeah, what's up? I'm like the 6th caster we've had in the booth tonight. Next week, we're going to Long Beach for the Long Beach Grand Prix in Formula C, 43 laps around the streets of California.
The penultimate
That
race
is one
of
of
the
my
season.
favorite tracks. We love it.
As Ryan said. Yeah, go ahead, Ricky.
Let me throw this in. I know that we're worried about FC Championship. Look, hey, with Kale's win tonight, Leaf has not taken a stronghold. If Leaf, wrecks out next week, anything can happen in the next 2 weeks. So Kale's currently P2. Hey, it's a good battle for P2 as well. So Long Beach, one of the hardest road courses, one of the hardest street courses, not only on iRacing, but in the FC schedule and in the IndyCar in real life schedule. It's going to be a fun race to watch. Front wings are going to be a premium, okay? And we're going to be using the green sidewall tires, those Guayuli tires. So hopefully we can see you all there.
And our next race in the Collegiate Sports Car Challenge, as the director of that, our next Collegiate Sports Car Challenge race will be December 5th. That is a Thursday. It will be at Fuji International Raceway in the rain as the sun begins to rise on the land of the rising sun. So we got a while before that one. Plenty of time for drivers to practice their wet GT3 driving. So we will see how that goes in a few weeks' time.
And let me just go in here one more time. So this next week, the first 2 races you heard are next week. That 3rd race is December 5th. Listen, Thanksgiving week, we are giving the students off. However, in the Cup Series, we have something fun planned. More news will come out to our socials very soon. So be checking your YouTube page on that Monday before Thanksgiving for a nice race, and then after that, it's the final week of the season, the Final Four for Cup Series, and then the championship race for FC, sponsored by Vortex Motorsports, and the final race for CSC.
Well, with that, Ryan Whitlock, we're going to say our goodbyes, and we're going to say our farewells, but I'm going to go in this order. Ryan Whitlock, Ricky Paz, Sky, then me. So Ryan, quickly, shortly, give your ending remarks.
I just want to say what a race. A little disappointed I didn't come out with the win, especially against a championship opponent, but I think Texas has earned its spot on our schedule next season. It was pack racing, it was chaotic, but it was just clean enough. I think our drivers did a really good job tonight, and I think that just shows how awesome and strong FC is this season.
Ricky?
These are record numbers that we're seeing for FC this season. FC is in its 5th season, and the IndyCar switch seems to be the right switch for our talent pool, for our drivers. Listen, I'm super, super excited for what we've been able to put on. I'm super excited for the next 2 races, Long Beach and then Coda. It's going to be a great end to the season, and let me be honest, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch all of these races back on YouTube, thanks to our good broadcaster, Keith. Keith, we're going to miss you a lot. I thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. Much love for you. Thank you.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm just here to basically just say thank you, Keith. Disembodied voice here. Keith, you are the greatest. You've ran this whole series. We're losing our behind-the-scenes production man, Keith, after this week. He is the GOAT. I love him. Also, Edward, we casted this for most of the season. Thank you. It was awesome. You're so fucking good at this. It's great. Thank you, Ricky and Ryan, for stepping in on me because I had a meeting that I couldn't go. Love y'all.
Hey, the esteemed
And-
panel is happy to step in at any time.
It was something.
Just call us up.
I was watching some of it. It was definitely something. That is a word you can use.
I
to
mean, I
describe
totally would have won that race if I wasn't trying to commentate at the same time.
Well, folks, all good things, unfortunately, always comes to an end. But I will say from the bottom of my heart, it's been an incredible last 2 semesters commentating. I know this semester I've been more on a full-time, but last semester was my first ever time ever commentating in any form. Keith, I'm saying this in the heart. It's been a lot, and it's been amazing. I remember our first ever stream. It was Suzuka. I had no idea what I was doing, but you were able to just tell me it's okay, breathe, and we got through it together. And ever since then, from that day on, every broadcast, week in and out, it's been a pleasure. I'm doing this for free because I don't care, because it's just so much fun being in the booth with you, Keith. And also shout out to Sky Shrek. I know Sky is also taking leave as well. And Sky, it's been an honor to be commentating with you. And Sky, I know that you also recently have been getting into other broadcasts. Congratulations on that. That's all the hard work that I've watched you grow over the year, honestly, this year. And me personally, Keith, I'm really gonna miss you. Am I gonna stop commentating? No, I mean, unless we find someone else broadcasting for next week. But folks, just a reminder, this will be potentially the last CIL FC broadcast of the season. Like I said, if we can find another broadcaster, maybe if you guys know any good broadcasters, go ahead, join our CIL Discord and join us, and we're gonna probably maybe do something. But unfortunately, this might be it. But once again, thank you so much to the viewers. Thank you so much to everybody that shows up every weekend out. I've always looked at the chat. I've always been it's just been an amazing moment for me to be part of this, to be part of CIL, to be also one of the many faces of CIL FC. And hopefully this doesn't mean an end in my chapter here. Hopefully I can continue to commentate for y'all every Wednesday night. But for now, I will be signing off. Yours truly, Edward Sanchez, with Ryan Whitlock, Ricky Paz, Sky Shrek. It has been a delightful evening at Texas Motor Speedway. The CIL FC Round 12 has come to a conclusion. We have crowned a new winner, apart from a leaf, thank God. But apart from that, it's been a pleasure, folks. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Please hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for making my time here an incredible moment of my life. Thank you.